welcome to another edition of Thumb Sportsline on WMIC 95.3 FM. I am Eddie Fury, and along with me is Mike Gallagher.
Hey, Eddie. How you doing, buddy?
Great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Great. It is a Tuesday evening, and we got one more week of high school football action. Can you believe it?
Nope.
And we are going to recap Week 8 high school football games and maybe a little bit of shade of Week 9 preview, or actually shades of playoff talk here a little bit. We're getting closer to that. I think we'll wait until Sunday if we do a show. Do you want to do a show Sunday or what?
Selection Sunday. Yeah, we probably should.
Okay. Did we do one last year, or we decided not to? I couldn't remember.
I don't remember. But we did do it at Benchwarmers the one year, and that was awesome.
Yeah, so maybe we should find a spot.
Sandusky football team, yeah.
So, I mean, we got immediate in our coverage area, at least two teams we believe are going to make and crack it. So,
yeah.
So, cross your fingers on that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about that, recap Week 8 high school football action. Some upsets happen, in Week 8. And will there be more in Week 9? Because we got some pretty decent games. Usually it's kind of like a light schedule in Week 9. Not so this year.
Yeah.
We've already got our games picked out. If you go to our Thumb Sportsline link on our website, it's sanilacbroadcasting.com. We are going to do the Bridgman at Brown City game, and Sean Cantwell will be helping out with our double coverage again this week.
Yeah.
We had double coverage last week. That was a lot of fun. This week we'll have Bridgman at Brown City, and something I wanted to accomplish, Mike, is to cover every single team at least once.
Yes.
In our Sanilac broadcasting coverage area, and I decided to do double coverage. Going to get a chance to get Carsonville Port Sanilac Tigers in this Week 9. So I'm looking for it. Now, both teams are winless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. People say, why are you doing that game? It's a 0-8 team coming in. It's because that's our job,
Right.
to get these teams in. And these kids have worked hard up to this point. There's a little bit of drama here. Both teams are looking for their first win of the regular season.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get into that one a little bit more. We'll discuss what CPS did against Peck last week. Memphis, again, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but Mayville comes back from a forfeited week.
Yeah.
They come back and have a huge win over Memphis.
Yeah.
That kind of makes you feel not bad about CPS's chances going into this one. Obviously, it's a crossover game between the blue and the red.
Yeah.
And those are always incredibly tough games, just based on the fact of student enrollment. Memphis, obviously, one of the larger teams in the blue division. So It'll be a tough matchup for CPS, but they've been playing good football the past couple weeks. So
we'll see how that turns out. So I'm going to be sending out the official emails to the ADs and let them know, hey, I'm coming. So
they're going to find out live on the radio.
They're going to find out tonight. We decided to make the graphic. We wanted to confirm we had the personnel to maybe pull this off. Now,
so who's going to be going to CPS with you?
That's a good question. I'm going to find someone.
Okay.
But I can maybe give you a clue that the man who had been running Thumb Tailgater Sports is possibly coming back next week to do a game with me.
Oh, JB?
Oh, you guessed it. There you go.
Okay.
He's coming back for a short, spin, and he got a hold of me yesterday, so I was happy to. He contacted me, and I was overjoyed. You know,
awesome.
And then Libby tells me,
so that'll be the playoff game, which will probably be Deckerville or Brown City or
Deckerville has sealed a spot. Brown City, you're saying is.
They should be fine.
Yeah,
a win against Bridgman would be very helpful.
Yeah, so that's our game.
They should be all right.
That's our games of the week: Bridgman at Brown City and Carsonville Port Sanilac at Memphis. And
that's at Memphis. Okay.
It's at Memphis. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to look on the Google Earth map to say, do they have a press box? So they do. Yeah. So.
Well, I believe the field is called the Hive, Eddie. So
very cool.
Be careful.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done a game at the Hive there.
I think the last game that I covered there was a soccer game.
Okay.
So, that kind of tells you the last time I was there. It was a Marlette soccer game.
Nice.
So, it was must be 4 or 5 years ago now. But
so our big news last week was Marlette Red Raiders moving to 8-player football. They'll be playing their final game as an 11-player team for the foreseeable future unless something changes down the road here.
Right.
And then there's rumors already of another team possibly in our area coming to 8-player football too. So
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. All right.
Pulls, schmoles, Eddie.
Okay. All right.
Same thing with rumors.
So, of course, and then, the Sunday selection is this Sunday, just like that, too,
Yeah,
Boom.
and we received a press release from the MHSA that will be free on the NFHS network. So
wait. The MHSA is giving away something free?
Right. Well, it's not. So it used to be on Fox Sports Detroit,
yes.
and then it changed to whatever it is now. It was Bally, and then it was It's something else now.
It's Fox again or not? I don't know.
But it's all confusing and very hard to keep up with. So you can just watch Selection Sunday for free on the NFHS network, which you have a subscription for.
I do. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the media, they can apply for a free version of it, but I actually pay for it. So I want to support the school.
It is a very good service.
It's very cool because I go on it all the time, or I'll watch during as I'm doing my game to update.
Well, it's great during basketball season too when there's so many games, and
if it's set up right.
Yes.
It's set up right correctly. Yeah. So I just want to point that out. All right.
So one last question, Eddie. You had Doug Kirkpatrick with you.
Yep.
For the Deckerville game.
Yep.
Legendary basketball coach for the Eagles. How did he do?
I
listened to the pregame. Then
I did the pregame. I had that already.
Yeah.
I just told him, if he can make it in time because he was digging his beets. He's a farmer too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I just needed some some cushion or support there in case something went wrong with me or the equipment, and he could maybe carry it. He was good. He chimed in here and there.
Okay.
I just needed that support just in case. And but having Libby there doing the stats, and she knows when to chime in and correct me.
Right.
What she loves to do.
Right.
Which is
well, she knows Deckerville football.
Yeah.
So.
And I like her proactive on that, and she did a great job of doing the full stat report. And they defer from the stuff that I was set here, so ours is right. I know ours is right because we count the minus yards, and we were questioning a couple things. And then I figured out a call later on what a specific penalty was on a kickoff, and it was kickoff catch interference. There is a penalty on that. It's the same thing as pass interference. Okay. So yeah, it's the same.
So would that be a situation where somebody ran into the person who was going to receive the kickoff?
It affected. It was very. It was very part of the situation because K-Pac got in great field position.
Okay.
And was able to get the lead here against Deckerville, which, by the way, what an upset.
Yeah, I have a lot to talk about with that one. Well, actually, I have a lot to ask you about with that one because you did that game. I was at Croslex for the Battle of the Helmet Trophy. Pioneers kept it in Croswell for the 9th straight year.
That was your coverage,
Yeah, but I think the Deckerville K-Pac game was one of the more intriguing games in the area just because, unfortunately, and we discussed it on last week's show, the injury to Ian Flanagan and the way that was going to affect Deckerville on both the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. And then the fact that K-Pac's been a really good team this year, Eddie, and that's something we've also talked about on this show. And they have some great size, and they have a great player in Sam Schneider. So I think it was kind of intriguing because it was, okay, what are they going to do at quarterback? What's the game plan offensively? Who's going to start at safety? How are they going to, respond to losing such a key player like that?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to get your take on the game and if Deckerville's going to be all right going forward.
We'll see. All right. So at that point, right now, we're almost 10 minutes in here. We'll talk about, when we come back, other sports of note. You have key details coming up here in volleyball, cross country, possibly?
Yeah.
And last week, you had tennis going on.
Yep. Well, the tennis state finals wrapped up yesterday for Croslex.
Yep.
We can discuss that. The cross country conference championship meets were last week. Regionals at Wagner Park this weekend, Eddie. Cross season's almost over, which is also crazy.
That's what I was reminded about because Mrs. Fury, she says, I go, what are you doing this week? She's like, I got to go to Wagner. I go, oh, that's the regional, right?
Yeah.
Just like that. So, yeah.
They're going to be doing 2 regionals there, Eddie.
That's what she told me.
Get there early for parking if you're going.
If I'm going.
Well, just to anybody listening, if you plan on going to Wagner Park, get there early. It's
going to be a late night. I'm coming back from Memphis Friday night. So, So
don't get there too early, though, because I need a spot up front.
Where?
Somebody hold a spot for me at Wagner if you don't mind.
Okay. All right, you got some polls. You say Mrs. Fury, you say, hey, I'm Mike Gallagher.
Yeah.
She goes, who?
Right. Well, that's that jerk that my husband hangs out with on Tuesday nights.
I have to tell her when I get home, hey, it's me, Eddie Fury. She goes, who? Your husband? Okay. We'll be right back here. This is Thumb Sportsline on WMIC 95.3 FM. And I promise I will upload the whole show.
I was gonna ask. I wasn't sure if it was too soon, but unfortunately, last week's episode did not get fully recorded. Yeah, Eddie Fury was beating himself up pretty badly about it. He
Still
was.
am.
Well, that's why I didn't want to mention it, but I was kind of peeking over at the computer to make sure you were recording.
I was in the first part. I am right now, so I'm not even shut this off. I'm just going to let it run.
Okay.
So yes, you can officially sue me for... Oh, yeah, you could sue me for slander.
I mean...
Right then and there, because I said I'd upload it.
You did lie.
I did upload a portion of it, though. So I technically...
Oh, you did upload it.
I could use a Matlock, the back door or whatever, lawyer show or something. I did post some of it, so... Yeah, so anybody has a copy... But then again, people don't want to give stuff away. They tend to take things from me, so, they don't want to give it away. So. Okay. All right. But this show will be uploaded on Spotify. You like that? Yeah.
Eddie, I'm here to talk sports, buddy.
Let's do that. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's refocus here.
Yeah, let's dial in.
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back here on Thumb Sportsline on WMIC 95.3 FM. We also stream online. We are number 1 in Kazakhstan. Is that still country?
This is Denny King, the King of Cars. Do you know why your friends and neighbors have been driving a Carroll for over 60 years? It's because we consistently provide the best buying experience in the Thumb for all of our customers. When you come see me, Denny King, the King of Cars, you get to put my 3 decades of experience to work for you. You get the best price on a new Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram when you shop More Motors in Carroll. At More Motors, we take pride in transparency, honesty, and fairness with all of our customers. When you shop More Motors in Carroll, we check every incentive available to ensure you are always getting the best deal possible. At More Motors in Carroll, we understand not all dealers are the same. City dealers will even often say anything just to get people in the door. At More Motors, we don't do that. So when you're in the market for a new Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram, shop More Motors in Carroll. Then you too will see why your friends and neighbors have been driving a Carroll for more than 60 years.
Attention Windows users, if your computer is still running Windows 10, now is the time to take action. Microsoft has officially ended support for the Windows 10 operating system, which means no more security updates or patches. This leaves your personal data at risk from viruses, malware, and spyware. The solution? Upgrade to Windows 11. And the EBS Tech team is here to make the upgrade easy, seamless, and secure. Our qualified technicians will check your computer for compatibility, guide you through the process, and safely transfer all your files so nothing gets lost. And if it's time for a new PC, the EBS Tech team will help you find the perfect machine for your needs, and we'll make sure it's ready with Windows 11 right out of the box. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit the EBS Tech team in Pigeon or Sandusky, or give us a call today at 888-282-4943.
Hi, this is Steve Kohler from Kohler's Propane. It's that special time of year. The footballs are flying, there are fall festivals, and trips to the cider mills, and many school activities. We would like to thank the many volunteers who work hard to make these special times fun and safe. Whether it's working for a safe harvest, driving safely, and watching for the youngsters on our streets and sidewalks, please do your part to prevent an accident.
And this is Joni. Along with fall comes a reminder that cold weather is on the way. Now is the time to call Kohler's for that fall fill-up. We guarantee your price for 1 full year, offer free tank installation with keep full and budget plans available. For information, call us toll-free 800-572-2191 or visit our website, getkohlers.com.
For more information, call 1-800-572-2191. Kohler Propane in Brown City, Memphis, and Bad Axe. And remember,
nobody gives you gas like Kohler's.
Welcome back to Thumb Sportsline, WMIC 95.3 FM. Eddie Fury View, along with Mike Gallagher of the Sanilac County News. We are part of the Thumb Sportswriters Association, your authority for Thumb, Big Thumb Conference, Blue Water Area Conference, and Big Thumb 8-player, but also Sports and Big Thumb Conference and BWAC coverage.
Your authority for Thumb sports writing.
Yes, you are. And your issue comes out tomorrow.
Yes,
it's on the front page, by the way.
We got the helmet trophy. We got cross country conference championships. We had the Marlette Sandusky Pink Out game last Thursday night. Always a great night for a great cause for the B Cups program.
Yeah.
With Aspire Health. Great fundraiser. Great. It's great to. We talk about the Sandusky Marlette rivalry, and it's pretty cool to see two teams come together for a good cause.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you can see.
Yes,
I'm wearing my white.
Right. Well, people on the radio can't see.
My pink, that is. Deckerville High School decided to do this, and Libby, my student intern, comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays when she can. She was wearing her pink. She goes, "Hey, we're wearing pink. Did you read the post on it?" I goes, "Oh, I didn't." She was responsible for posting it, apparently.
Okay.
But I wanted to wear it because I heard it was supposed to be National Pink Day or something related to it this week.
That's today?
I think. I might be incorrect, though. I might be incorrect.
Okay.
So I know that for the whole month you can wear this. And
okay.
So I happened to be wearing it the day that Deckerville was having their fun,
cool.
Wear something fun day. She was wearing her pink, but I asked her, and I know I'm going off topic here because that's what I do.
A little bit, yeah.
Clark, you go ahead and text me on that. Apparently, I said, I thought I was more pink than you are, Libby. And she goes, no, I said, I think that looks like salmon pink. She goes, pink is pink.
Okay.
Of course, the daggers came out. She goes, you're wearing gender reveal pink.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
I did not know there's that many different shades of pink.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I got dark pink on. I got the red sweater.
Now, I love Pink, the singer.
Okay.
All right, let's get to our coverage.
Oh, man, Eddie. So I want to start with Croslex because the tennis and soccer seasons wrapped up for them. We talked about Sandusky tennis last week and how their season wrapped up. The Croslex tennis team had their best finish in school history by earning 4 points at the state finals in Midland on Monday. That completes a season that saw the team go 9-0 in dual matches. They won their first ever BWAC conference championship. Coach Scott Cummings was the BWAC Coach of the Year. His son, senior Matthew Cummings, was the BWAC MVP. They qualified for the state finals for just the fourth time in school history, and this is the most points that they've scored at the state finals, which, 4 points, that doesn't sound like a lot of points, but for tennis at the state level, it is dominated by private schools, Eddie. So just a great showing from Croslex. They will have to replace some very talented seniors, but they should be ready to defend their BWAC title next season. As for Croslex soccer, we also touched on that last week before their district final match with Imlay City. I was able to make it down to that game. Unfortunately, Imlay City did get Croslex in this one after Croslex defeated them during the regular season. It was a 4-1 win for Imlay City. It was the 6th straight district championship for Imlay City. No big deal. They barely even celebrated when they got the trophy.
Okay.
But the loss ended Croslex's season with a 12-5-1 overall record, which is the most wins since Ken Nelson took over the program in 2016. The Pioneers went 10-3-1 in the Blue Water Area Conference, and they won their district opener against Armada 1-0. It was their first postseason victory since 2020, and their 7-0 win over Almont in the district finals it earned them a spot in the district final for the first time since 2012. There was 8 seniors on the team, so they are going to have to reload next year, but the impact that those seniors had on the younger players and the success that the team had this year, they're going to be building off of that next season. So I'm very excited about that. In volleyball, We talked about the pink out game a little bit. There's a huge volleyball match tonight. I'm sure Ben Miller told you all about it.
Yeah, North Branch, Imlay City.
We'll be hearing from Scotty B on that one. Scott Bowlesby, he'll be reporting on that one. He'll be sending us updates. That will be for the Blue Water Area Conference regular season title. They're both 6-0. It's the last conference matchup of the season before the BWAC tournament play, which for the overall BWAC conference champions,
which is on Saturday, October 20.
Yes,
the 25th.
So they combine your regular season standing with your performance in the tournament.
Really?
So this will be for the regular season, championship basically, but it won't necessarily wrap up the BWAC title, if that makes sense.
That's kind of interesting how they do that.
So, like, for example, if North Branch were to win tonight and then Imlay City wins the tournament on Saturday, like that, I think, I don't know.
Will they share it?
Possibly.
Okay.
It's, but yeah, Yale at 4-2. Croslex is in 4th place at 3-3. They picked up a win against Algonac last week, and then they picked up 5 wins in their tournament on Saturday. I don't think it's been posted yet, but they do have the Thumb Sportswriters Association Volleyball Player of the Week in sophomore Lauren West. She's been playing fantastic. Great hitter in the front row, and a good 6 rotation player defensively as well. In the Big Thumb Conference White Division, Cass City has wrapped up an outright conference title. They are currently 11-1. Elkton Pigeon Bayport 8-4, Millington 8-4, Reese 8-4. So everybody kind of beat each other up, and meanwhile Cass City was able to just get through. They did have the one loss, but they were able to get through without any other losses. So Cass City is your outright conference champion there.
And that confirmed it from last week, where their win over Unionville Seaboing.
Correct, yes.
And then,
there was... they won, and then I think Laker lost or something. Yeah.
And then they had a busy week, and they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different teams they played in a tournament at the Belleville Invitational. So that's a lot of volleyball there.
Yeah,
so
and
tonight they're at Carroll. So
yeah, and when you look at the Big Thumb Conference White Division, you see that they have those quads during the regular season. Yeah. That opens up more dates that you can go out and play good competition in tournaments, which Cass City has taken advantage of to make themselves a very good program.
So in the Big Thumb Black Division?
In the Big Thumb Conference Black Division, Ubley is 9-0. Marlette is 8-2. Brown City 7-2. Ubley needs one win this week to clinch at least a share of the title.
Yep.
They will be playing at home against Marlette tonight.
Yep.
And if they were to get 2 wins, that would guarantee an outright title. And their second game of the week will be at Sandusky on Thursday.
And they will have Harbor Beach on the 27th.
Right. So hopefully, Marlette and Sandusky play spoiler. Marlette and Brown City both with 2 losses. We kind of talked about this before, where if you're Marlette and Brown City, especially Brown City, because they've played Ubley twice now, you really have to beat Ubley yourself, because you don't want to count on somebody else beating them, which Marlette and Brown City both need somebody to beat Ubley. So in the Big Thumb Conference Blue Division, Deckerville is 6-0. They need 1 win this week to clinch an outright title.
At Dryden on Thursday.
Yep. In the Big Thumb Conference Red Division, Eddie, the music, it just gets me all anxious.
Yep.
The Big Thumb Conference Red Division, Owen Gage has clinched at least a share of the conference title. A win this week would give the Bulldogs an outright title. They are at CPS, and they are hosting Bay City All Saints. They are currently 7-0 in conference play.
All right, so they still got a few games before really hammering it down, right?
It's getting, Ubley, everything could be wrapped up this week, Eddie.
Okay.
Potentially.
All right, that is our wrap-up on other sports notes. We'll be back to talk football.
Whoa.
6 o'clock hour here on Thumb Sportsline.
You're on the Thumb's information station, 660 WMIC AM Sandusky and 95.3 FM W237EQ Sandusky.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Well, it's football season when you hear that, but we finally just got fall season kind of underway.
Yeah, kind of a dreary day today.
Yeah, today feels like fall season, so although it was sunny too. But the leaves are changing, definitely. I look at my backyard and I just marvel.
I like that.
I got my old maples that I planted where I thought I probably did not take really good care of them as I should.
Okay.
Mrs. Fury took over, and now they're blooming. They're like 8 feet tall now, and they got the fall colors, Yeah. It's awesome. It's like, all right. All right, that's the old man in me. So somebody did something last night here. I forgot how much I love this song.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were a fan.
I am.
Yeah.
Some Luminaires, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, I came home like a stone. And I fell heavy into your arms. These days of dark.
Let's just let this play a little bit more.
Let's just let it play for the rest of the show.
We'll blow away.
Call it a night. Play Mumford & Sons for the last 2 hours of the show.
But I'll kneel down, wait for now. I'll kneel down, know my ground. I will wait for you.
And they will wait for football talk. All right.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, every week this show becomes less and less about sports.
Yeah. Mumford & Sons showed up. There is a football tie-in here. They were at the Lions football game.
They were at the Lions game, yes.
Yeah, and then they scooted on over to actually perform.
Little Caesars.
They had a job to do. So
yeah,
yeah. So that was very cool to see Mumford & Sons. And I realized, like, last night when I was watching it, I go, oh, Mike is at that show right now.
Yeah,
so,
it was fantastic.
Your awesome girlfriend.
They played that. Yes, my awesome girlfriend got me tickets. It was a great night. They actually played that song for their encore. It wasn't their final song. Their final song was an unreleased song, which was very good.
Very cool.
Looking forward to that coming out. But they played all the great ones, all the great songs. I no complaints.
Yeah, powerful show, I bet.
It was great. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And of course, there was a Jared Goff chant. There was 2 of them during the concert.
Yeah,
got to have that.
Yeah.
And
was that when he threw the interception? Or?
Well, it was kind of funny because they were at the game.
Yeah.
So then throughout the concert, he was asking the crowd what the score was.
Oh, so. Nice. And he was wearing a Mumford.
Yes,
Lions
Mumford jersey.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So Mumford & Sons was at Little Caesars Arena last night. So that was awesome that you were able to do that. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I bet you are one tired man right now. But not too tired to talk high school football right now, right?
Right.
Let's get to it. We start off with Blue Water Area Conference recap. And Mike will talk about Croswell Lexington. This is what I was able to gather thanks to our fantastic media out there. This is coming, most of the source from our coaches or assistant coaches as well, and the teams in the Blue Water Area Conference, but also for the Port Huron Times-Herald. I want to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, I actually saw Brennan Welper twice last week. It was great to see him. Saw him at the Croslex-Yale game and at the Croslex-Imlay City soccer game. He's doing great things at the Times-Herald. Great guy.
All right, so the Richmond Blue Devils, they defeated Algonac 44-6 in Week 8. Dominic Benetti, 10 for 14 for passing, 227 ridiculous yards and 3 touchdowns for Richmond to move to 7-1 overall, 6-1 in the BWAC. That win should secure them a playoff spot. Trenton Coleman, 97 rushing yards and 2 TDs. Now the Blue Devils will take on Macomb Lance Cruz North for Week 9 final game. Algonac falls to 1-7 overall, 0-7 in the BWAC. They will host Madison Heights Madison this coming Friday as well. So congrats to Richmond, man. What a great turnaround. Their lone loss was to the Almont Raiders.
Right.
So,
no shame in that one.
Yeah.
And, in the past couple seasons, they've needed this Macomb Lutheran. Is it Macomb Lutheran North they're playing?
Yes.
Yeah, they've needed that win to get into the playoffs, so it's probably pretty nice.
That's who they're playing this week.
Yeah.
Macomb Lance Cruz North.
Oh, Lance Cruz North.
Yeah, they beat Algonac.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So probably a good feeling going into the playoffs, not needing a victory necessarily. But, yeah, what a season for Richmond.
Armada Tigers, they were seeking that BWAC title, but it was not meant to be. They lost to Richmond and they lost to Almont, 2 top teams. That's some pretty good playoff points right there.
With Armada, it's kind of interesting because they kind of go into the playoffs flying under the radar. We know they're still a great team.
Yeah.
Despite losing 2 games. You lose to Almont and you lose to Richmond. Those are quality losses, which I know Armada probably doesn't want to hear, but they still got a chance to do some good things in the postseason. Jackson
Malberg, the Cadillacs and the running back for the Armada Tigers, another fantastic game. Rushing for 191 yards, 3 touchdowns for Armada against Emily City. They win 42-0. Nolan Roos got loose and threw for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Tigers will host a huge game. It will be part of our Thumb Sportsline picks. The Tigers will host Frankenmuth this coming Friday.
That's going to be a tough one to pick.
Brady Homer for Emily City passing, 112 passing yards for Emily City. Brett Lestage had 103 receiving yards. Spartans will travel to Burton Bentley on Thursday, by the way.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
And that should be a winnable game for Emily City. That'd be great if they could wrap up the season with a win. They opened the season with a win against Flint Powers. So, tough season. We saw some improvements. We saw some nice things out of Emily City. Unfortunately, just wasn't quite ready to make that jump, which, again, it's very hard to do in the Blue Water Area Conference. It's hard to find wins. So it would be great for them to get a win in Week 9 here and carry that momentum into the offseason.
So if Armada falls to Frankenmuth has 1 loss in the season, by the way. They're 7-1 overall. And Yale looks like they're kind of hanging around for the playoff spot.
Yale should be fine.
In Division 5, they're 4-4 overall, depending what happens this weekend, though.
Right.
This week. Saginaw Squaw Valley in that region, according to Snooze to You. Richmond is in Division 5 as well, so there's a lot of BWAC teams with Richmond, Armada, and Yale. And, Richmond could have that rematch with Armada, possibly, too. Yeah. Or Frankenmuth was heavily favored in that, regional, too, as well. Saginaw Squaw Valley, 7-1. So they are a good team after that Week 1 victory over Croswell-Lexington that we had covered way back in Week 1.
Yeah.
So
well, and we love the Snooze to You projections. Fantastic tool. He'll be having the 8.5 projections where he predicts the winners. And I think that will give us a better idea of the postseason and what it will look like. Yale should be fine. Losing to Croslex obviously in Division 4, so it doesn't necessarily hurt Yale that much. And I think they wrap up the season with Flint Powers as well. They end the season with somebody that they should be favored against.
You're saying who?
Yale.
Yale. Oh, okay. Speaking of Yale, we'll get to them here in a little bit. There. Let's get to the Almont Raiders. They are the outright Blue Water Area Conference champions. They get a great win once again, and they took on North Branch, and they took care of business there. They took really good care of business. 43-14 was the final score. Brody Cornell ran for 133 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 4 attempts. 4 attempts to lead Almont to remain undefeated, 8-0 overall, 7-0 in the BWAC. Blake Lane, 6 of 8 for passing for 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Brody Cornell is a junior, by the way.
Okay.
4 times, 132 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's
quite the stat line, yeah.
58-yarder on the Raiders' first offensive play, 68 yards and 1 yard. Senior Jacob Stewart added 5 carries, 78 yards and 1 touchdown. Junior Dante DeSano, 3 carries, 67 yards, a 59-yard touchdown run. Junior Blake Lane, like I said, 6 of 8 for passing, 71 yards, including a 23-yard touchdown pass to senior Matthew Bohoski. The Raiders, who clinched the BWAC championship with a win, will take on and entertain Detroit Edison this coming Friday. Another great season by the Almont Raiders.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the kings of the BWAC, and it's been that way for a while now. And they wrap up the season with Detroit Edison. That's a huge game,
yeah.
Eddie. I'm not sure how it would affect the playoffs or anything like that. Obviously, Almont safely in the playoffs. Whether they'll be seeded number 1 or not, I'm not sure. But Detroit Edison currently has 1 loss, so that's a fun matchup to wrap up the season.
Yeah, I'm looking where Almont is located at, and I'm looking at Division 6. It looks like it's going up to Division 4 possibly. I'm going to make sure and really double check here because I don't see them in Division 5, so I believe they will fall in Division 4.
Almont.
Probably Division 7, maybe.
Almont's Division 6.
Division 6? Because
yeah.
I'm looking. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And there I go. All right. So they are located down in District 2, Region 2.
Okay. Who else is in there?
Flint New Standard Academy, Flint Hamady, and Duran.
Okay. That's an interesting district.
Yeah. So
okay.
And Montrose is on the Region 2 and District 1 on the other side of the bracket there. Okay. Ovid LC in there and some familiar teams for Alma. Yeah, you really have to look hard. Because way on the other side, Marine City is 6-2, by the way. We haven't talked about them in quite some time. They're in Region 4, District 1.
A little bit out of the coverage area, but
they're hanging around. They tend to take on those BWAC teams in case they meet. Usually they would be in the same block there, but this time they're on the opposite
It is weird
side.
how they're kind of separated like that, and that will possibly change.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So the Croswell Lexington Pioneers get their win, defeating the Yale Bulldogs, and this would kind of be a mini upset, maybe. I know we know that Croswell has the potential. They've had a tough season throughout the regular season. They picked up their 4th win. They're 4-4 overall. Yale falls to 4-4 overall. This was a trophy game too.
Yes, the helmet trophy, of course. I don't know if I would say upset. It's I think we're getting kind of a clearer look of what Croslex is this year,
or the potential,
and it's something we've talked about on the show before, where they started the season with a brutal schedule, and that's no excuses. But they've won 4 of their last 5 games. I mean, they've been playing some really good football lately, and against Yale, it was offensively and defensively. It was kind of the first half was kind of a game of runs. The Croslex offense, unfortunately, it did not start out great for Croslex offensively. First pass play of the game for Jax Johnson was an interception. I believe it was tipped and intercepted. But, he responded by throwing 5 touchdown passes in the game. So no harm done. With 3:45 to go in the first quarter, he throws up a jump ball to Shane Slanik, which, Eddie, when's the last time you saw Croslex? Was it week 1, or have you seen them more recently than that?
No, I think Jeremy and
he's been Jeremy and Sean were there. Watching Slanik line up. If Croslex is within 15 to 20 yards of the end zone, you can see it coming. They're just going to throw a jump ball up to Slanik, and for the most part, he brings it down. He did that twice against Yale. Just went up and got a jump ball and just outjumped his defender, and it's pretty impressive to watch. But Slanik, he had a great game offensively, but in the first half, it's what he did defensively that gave Croslex a halftime lead. First of all, the Croslex defense was fantastic in the first quarter. Yale did not get a first down until its 3rd possession of the game with 2:17 to play in the first quarter. And on the very next play after they got that first down, Slanik forces a fumble, which is picked up by Braylon Davis. And then with 40 seconds left in the quarter, Johnson throws his 2nd touchdown pass of the game to Caden Azamlaski. Makes it 14-0. So Croslex, it's starting to look like, okay, this is going to get ugly fast, because Yale wasn't having much success moving the ball, and the Croslex offense was clicking. In the second quarter, though, Yale held the ball for a majority of the quarter. They got on the board, so they started the quarter with the ball. They score with 5:34 to play in the quarter. So long drive, long sustained drive. It's 14-7. On the ensuing kickoff, Croslex fumbles it. Yale gets it back. Another long sustained drive, and they get into the end zone. Tie game, 14-14. The Croslex offense finally touches the ball with 1:52 to play in the second quarter, and they go on to Sanilac catches a second touchdown pass of the game with 45 seconds left, 17-yard reception. Again, just a jump ball, and it was kind of a crazy sequence, because he went up for it, brought it down, and then they just wrestled for the ball in the end zone, and nobody was really breaking it up or trying to figure it was a very suspenseful touchdown. But he gets the call, he gets the touchdown. They're up 20-14. Yale gets the ball back, and on their very first play offensively, Sanilac gets an interception, and he returns it to the Yale 20-yard line, which turns into a Corbin Allen field goal with under a second left. And Croslex, with 1:52 to play, it was a tie game, and at halftime it was 23-14. Mm-hmm. So just a huge swing of the momentum, and it was sparked by Sanilac. In the second half, the Yale defense really keyed in on Sanilac, and Johnston did a great job of getting other receivers involved. Yale scored. They got a field goal with 6 minutes to play.
Yeah, because I think it was like 23-17.
It was 23-17. Again, yeah. But in the fourth quarter, Johnson throws an 11-yard touchdown to Braylon Davis. Sanilac catches a 2-point conversion. With just about 7 minutes to play, Braylon Davis comes up with a huge tackle on fourth down. It was literally inches short, and Croslex gets the ball back. Johnson throws another touchdown, and with 40 seconds left, the Croslex defense gets an interception and seals the win. So it was both closer than the score reflected, and also not, because after the first quarter, you could say that Croslex dominated the first quarter, but you could also say that Yale won the second quarter for the most part, but they just couldn't finish off the half. Yeah, one of those interceptions in the second half, third quarter, I believe, was like it kind of ricocheted off a player or something like that, and Sanilac who caught it? Happened to be right there to bring it down. So yeah. So great takeaway, big win for Croslex. The Helmet Trophy is always such an exciting game. It's a big rivalry. Well, it was good to see that Yale was. What I like to see now, and I love a healthy BWAC, because you just can't pinpoint who's going to be. Well, and Yale is one of those dangerous teams that every team played against. Is you cannot look past this Yale team this year. Well, and what I'd like to say, look how they were hanging around in that game, right? So well, and especially to respond from being down 14-0 to go on 2 long sustained scoring drives is a great response. I do want to say for Yale, their freshman quarterback, he was pretty legit. He's going to be a problem in the future for BWAC teams, But what I would also like to say is that the Croslex defense didn't get beat by the trick plays like they have kind of in the past with Yale. We've seen, let Yale pull out all the stops against Croslex and, score some points off of trickeration. And we didn't see hardly any of that on Friday night. But Johnson finished the game 13 of 29 for 232 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's almost at 2,000 yards passing for the season. He's just having a great year. Sanilac finishes with 4 catches for 43 yards. Braylon Davis, senior, he had a huge game offensively and defensively. We've talked about how he's emerged as, the go-to guy when it comes to running the ball. 12 carries for 52 rushing yards, 4 catches for 64 yards. Defensively, he had 16 tackles, 9 solo tackles, fumble recovery, a tackle for loss, and a pass deflection. Just a great win, great atmosphere. Croslex did the pink out game. They had the pink jerseys with the blue pants, and it's always exciting. Again, I've never seen Croslex lose the helmet trophy. I've always had the opportunity to watch them celebrate with the helmet trophy, and it's always a great time, regardless of what's going on during the season, record-wise or postseason-wise. But it does look like Croslex is going to need a little bit of help to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, because they're like 1, 2, 3, the fourth team out.
Okay.
Currently at 4-4, this is Division 4.
Yeah.
They have 36.750 points ahead of them. According to this ranking, and they're like the 36th team.
Okay.
And Fowlerville.
You got to get to 32.
Yeah, Fowlerville is the 32nd team right now. They got 38.875. And
yeah, so Croslex is at 36 out of 32. See, the problem is St. Clair got to win against Hazel Park, and that really kind of swings things. But, they'll have a great opportunity on Friday. They'll play Ogama Heights, which is a great football team.
One lost team, and that was a Travis City St. Francis.
Yeah.
42-32 loss.
Yeah, and everybody loses to Traverse City St. Francis.
University. Okay.
Yeah. But just a fantastic game. Saw some good things from Yale, but saw a lot of great things from Croslex. Again, I liked how Johnson got other receivers involved because Yale made it a point of trying to slow down Sanilac offensively, which, they were able to do that in the second half. But with the other receivers getting involved, with the run game getting going in the fourth quarter, overall just a fantastic win for Croslex. It's great to see, and it was cool to see Davis have a big game. He's another senior. I didn't realize he had 16 tackles until I looked at the stat sheet after the game. I mean, he was all over the field defensively, great game for him. Very cool. And it was cool to see Sanilac defensively make some big plays because obviously we've seen him do it offensively at the wide receiver position. And he's over 1,000 yards receiving on the year. So just great season for him. I wish Croslex could have got one of those wins earlier in the season. But
the first 3 games, you're up against Saginaw Swan Valley. We know they're a real team.
Yeah.
You look at second game, Armada.
Yeah.
Richmond.
Yep.
And then they had North Branch, and then back to Almont.
Yep.
Then they had Algonac, Emily City, and then Yale.
Right.
3 straight wins.
Right.
But man, that's a gauntlet to start off the regular season when you're trying to find your footing here against some really tough teams. But credit to those tough teams; they already know. They're in the same position too.
Right.
So
right.
Now the Yale Bulldogs, looking at the playoff points, they're ahead of 3 teams, but it could falter because look how close to Hazel Park is there. If they win this week, Detroit Voyager, College Prep, Lake Odessa. I mean, they're kind of about a good 4 points out. So
right,
but
who does
below them is Whitmore Lake, Shepherd, and Hopkins.
But who does Yale play this week? Because I'm pretty sure whoever they're playing, they should be favored in.
Okay, they are playing Flint Powers.
Yes, okay. So Flint Powers currently winless.
Yes.
They lost to Imlay City at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
So Yale should be fine.
Okay.
So that's good season for them.
And it's good that they're ahead of 3 other teams.
They're already, yeah.
So if they win that game, then they're going to stick around. So
great job by Yale. Losing your starting quarterback halfway through the season, putting a freshman in there and having him, step up into that role. He was a tough runner against Croslex. He had both of the touchdowns in the second quarter, for Yale were 1-yard touchdown runs by him where they got in the tee and they just ran it up the middle with him. He's a good player. But I do want to mention something else about Yale.
Yeah, some big news out of Yale's athletic department.
Yeah, this is courtesy of Jim Brown, from formerly of the Yale Expositor. Great friend, great reporter, great sports reporter. He always had his finger on the pulse of everything going on in Yale. He's retired now. He's sold the Expositor, but he can't quite stop reporting stuff, which is great.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah, I told him he can come over here and report for us.
Yeah.
But he said that I was allowed to share this information, and great reporting out of him, because
everything you want to know about sports, go to Mr. Brown there.
Right. Well, and it seemed to have gotten some traction on Facebook, because I think a lot of people weren't aware of it. Because again, you got to go to these board meetings if you want to know what's going on. But I'm just going to read his post. He said, soon a decades-long tradition for Yale football will be coming to an end. The team has played their home games at Yale City Park since 1947, when the vision of Gordon Andre was completed. Last night at the bond issue meeting, Superintendent Kurt Sutton said that the Board of Education has decided to move the football games to the field inside the track at the high school. The work will not be part of the bond issue and is not contingent upon it being passed. They are leaving the park no matter how the vote goes, the bond issue vote. Yale will open the 2028 season on the new field. When they complete the 2027 season, it will end 80 years of football in the park.
That's big news, man.
We joke around about.
And again, the source is from
Jim Brown.
Okay.
Retired
from the Yale Expositor.
Yes. We talk a lot. We kind of joke around about Yale Park and the dark magic, and how crazy things happen there. But it is a fun environment for a game.
It is.
I do like.
Got a charm to it.
It has a great charm to it. I love the fans being right on top of the visitor side bench. The coaches probably don't like that, but that's probably part of the dark magic.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting development there. I don't know what they will plan on doing with the field going forward. I'm sure they use it for other things.
Yeah, put it to great use.
Yeah.
Keep that football program going. Now they have another field where you can have. You don't have to wait for a practice now.
Yeah.
You got two fields to work with. So,
Right. Yeah. So interesting report from our friend Jim Brown, and I think that about does it on Croslex Yale.
Okay, and that does it for our Blue Water Area Conference coverage. So the Week 9 schedule for BWAC, I will repeat here. You got Emily City at Burton Bentley. That's on Thursday.
Should be a win for the Spartans. Go get a win, Emily City.
Ogama Heights is at Croswell Lexington. Huge opportunity here for Croswell Lexington.
Yep.
Detroit Edison is at Almont, who is still undefeated. Fenton at North Branch. Yale at Flint Powers Catholic. Richmond at Macomb Lance Cruz North. And Frankenmuth at Armada. That is a premier matchup there, along with Croswell and Ogama Heights, who has one loss in the regular season. So there you go. BWAC talk. When we come back, we'll start off with some Big Thumb Conference talk here. And this is Thumb Sportsline on 95.3 FM. We're streaming online at SanilacBroadcasting.com. Be right back.
Tackle those tough cutting jobs with steel products from your nearest Tri-County equipment location. Save $50 on the Steel MS 250/18 chainsaw. Buy the Steel MS 172 CE model for only $249. It comes with Steel Easy to Start and Quick Stop, diagnostic socket, and many other features. Tri-County equipment cuts the cost of cutting with the MSA 70 CB12 chainsaw, sale tagged at $399. And it comes with a free battery valued at $179.99. You can also save big on steel blowers. The BRX 800X Magnum is reduced $50 to $599. Many other specials too. Hurry, these deals good for a limited time only at your steel dealer. Tri-County Equipment in Sandusky, Marlette, Bad Axe, Carroll, Lapeer, Fenton, Burton, Reese, Birch Run, Saginaw, and Auburn Hills.
Thank you for calling Global Mobile. Please hold.
No, wait, I just need to.
Thank you for calling Global Mobile. Your call is important to us. Please hold forever.
No, not again. I can't handle this. I feel like my head is going to explode.
Big mobile carrier headaches got you down? At Thumb Cellular, we say not in our neck of the woods. We're all about keeping things simple and stress-free. At Thumb Cellular, you'll get friendly, local customer care. No robots, no endless menus, just real local people who care. With hassle-free plans that are easy to understand, plus phones and service for every budget, you'll never feel left out. And with amazing coverage and crystal clear call quality, you'll stay connected wherever life takes you. And right now at Thumb Cellular, double your trade-in value when you purchase a new device, or score a free smartphone with a new line activation or upgrade. Get the details by visiting your local Thumb Cellular location in Bad Axe, Caro, Pigeon, or Sandusky. But hurry, these deals are only good until December 31st, 2025. Terms and conditions apply. Thumb Cellular, the local talk of the thumb.
Can't wait to communicate with you on the talk of the Thumb Cellular.
Your friends at Liberty Lane say, come on down and join our team.
Let's go bowling!
Register now for a fall bowling league. There are openings on ladies' leagues for Wednesday morning and evening, men's leagues on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, and mixed leagues on Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings. Beginners are welcome. Just stop in or call 810-648-9860. Also openings on the wait staff, so apply now.
Let's go bowling!
Liberty Lanes, West Park, Sandusky. The Thumb area's top choice for great bowling.
Let's go bowling! Making friends. Grab family. Since 1914, we've been selling cars. Making friends along the way.
From Graf Chevrolet of Sandusky, here's service writer Mackenzie Eisler.
Hey everyone, winter is right around the corner, and if you're looking for a little more grip in the elements, GM is now offering a buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1, now through the end of November. This applies to almost all brands: Goodyear, Michelin, Kelly, Continental, General, and Pirelli tires. If we don't have your brand or size in stock, no worries. There's a good chance the special still applies. Also, the holidays are right around the corner. Service gift certificates are available today to use towards oil changes, tires, or even detailing services. Call the Graf Service Department at 810-648-9850 to schedule all your automotive service needs.
All right, welcome back to Thumb Sportsline as we recap Week 8 and look ahead to Week 9, which is the final week of the regular season, Mike Gallagher.
It's both the best and worst time of the season, Eddie, because the playoffs are exciting, obviously, but...
Why does it feel like football flies by quicker? It feels like it, but it doesn't, but it does, you know?
Well, the thing that sucks is the beginning of the season. It feels like it takes forever to get through the month of August and get to that first game.
Yeah.
Like the whole month you're just waiting, and you're going to practices and 7-on-7s and scrimmages, and you're just waiting for that first game, and now all of a sudden it's Week 9. But it's been a fun season. We've seen some great games.
And there's a lot of great matchups, especially in our coverage area in Week 9, which is traditionally you don't get that too often.
I mean, sometimes you have teams that have the strategy of going out and getting a big game for Week 9. I think a lot of the great football programs do that. I mean, we're seeing that with Millington and Harbor Beach. You mentioned Armada and Frankenmuth. Almont, Detroit Edison. I think it's great to go get a game Week 9. Back earlier, back when it was 6 and you're in for the playoffs, I think we saw more of teams picking up winnable games Week 9 just so they could sneak into the postseason. And we don't see that as much anymore, I think. And, it's good to see these big matchups Week 9.
All right, so let's go off on our Big Thumb Conference 11 player football. There was a lot of cross-conference games, a lot of non-league games also in Week 8. And I'll start off with the Cass City Redhawks. How about this team, man? They're the team that beat Millington with a field goal. They're also the team that lost, pretty big to some of the top teams in the area, but the way they've been able to bounce back, back in week 1, lost to Harbor Beach 42-8.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, it's like kind of forgotten. Even back in week 4, the loss to the Lakers, week 3, I think it was, that was a close battle. They lose 18-13, but after that, they beat Millington. What a great pick-me-up win, 17-14. They rolled over Sandusky the following week, 41-7. They defeat Carroll in the M81 sign battle, 33-6. And they really handedly took down Detroit University Prep, 69-14. Now they made up against a legendary program, which last year had its problems, and it continues to have them this season. I think it's like another point where they have to reload here, and we're going to see a whole new generation of players coming in here. Where Cass City took down the Ubly Bearcats 42-6 handedly.
Yeah,
and a huge win for Cass City there. Cass City scored the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first touchdowns. Cass City scored. First quarter scores, Riker Wallace, a 6-yard run. Brody Shefka with a kick made it 7-0. Thank you to Rick Galazza, by the way, for sending this for the scoring updates. And then Braxton Kolach at the 2:20 left mark in the first quarter, a 30-yard run. Shefka with a kick, who's probably the guy who kicked the field goal to get that win over Millington early.
I would imagine, yeah.
13-0 at that point for Cass City over Ubly. Will Perry. 3 different scorers here, for Cass City. 7-yard run. Riker Wallace got the 2-point run, made it 21-0. Will Perry scores the 4th touchdown. That in the second quarter, a 2-yard run, 28-0. Braxton Kolach in the third, a 23-yard run. I know I'm saying your name wrong there, Braxton. I apologize, but it's 34-0 there. Ubly finally gets on the board in the third quarter. Riot Schumacher with a 1-yard run. 34-6, and then Cass City wraps it up with a bow, getting that 42-6 win with the Jackson Anthony 3-yard run for the Cass City Redhawks. They get the win over Ubly. Offensively, Riker Wallace, 103 rushing yards and a touchdown. 2-point. He did have a fumble. Braxton Kolach, 75 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Will Perry, 61 yards and 2 touchdowns as well. Jackson Anthony, 26-yard rushing TD and a catch for 6 yards. So Preston Dorland, 28 yards rushing, 2 for 2 for passing for 28 yards. They kept it ground and pound. Got this big win over Ubly, 42-6.
Yeah, in the past it seems like it's been a more competitive matchup. But again, Cass City is just playing some great football right now. Once that wing tee offense gets going, they are a tough out because of the way they play. They're so physical and they're so tough, and that's why they match up well with Millington. Looking at the Snooze to You projections currently after week 8, he has projected in Division 7, number 1 seed Millington hosting number 4 seed Cass City.
Wow.
So that would be a fun rematch.
Yeah, now, they got a tough matchup.
Yes,
Cass City has a tough matchup here.
Yeah, and obviously Millington as well with Harbor Beach. So,
but Cass City's in the middle of the pack. They're sitting very comfortably in their playoff spots. So.
Right. I think with I can't imagine Millington. Well, I don't know, because the number 2 seed is Saginaw Valley Lutheran. They are 8-0, and we're going to learn more about them this week because they're going to play USA. We're going to find out if that's a legitimate 8-0 or But I don't know. I can't imagine Millington drops from the 1 seed. If they lose to Harbor Beach or if they win, I don't think it would matter. But Cass City could potentially get up to the 3 seed. I don't know. But it's a nice-looking district. Millington, Cass City, Saginaw Valley Lutheran, and Elkton Pigeon Bayport. So
now, Ubly's only 3 spots out.
Right.
They're 3-5. They got 21.750 points. The last team, Petersburg Somerville, is 4-4. They had 22.875.
Yeah.
Reese is right there. They're ahead. They got 3 teams below them. They are 4-4 after their loss to Saginaw MLS, who Cass City takes on this week. They had 24.500 points, so they're in the like I said, they're the fourth to the last spot, and there's some space there, but a lot needs to happen.
Yeah, and
a lot needs to happen.
Clinton is a really good football team. They're 6-2, but their losses are to Monroe, St. Mary Catholic Central, and Hudson.
Yeah.
So it'll be tough to even get a win week 9, and then you would need some help. But, I mean, that is the benefit of the new playoff system where, Ubley has played some bigger schools, and, they're going to benefit from that if they are able to win these games. But I think Ubley's probably going to be on the outside looking in.
Okay, now moving on. Speaking of Saginaw MLS, who takes on Cass City this week, Saginaw MLS, Michigan Lutheran Seminary, defeats Reese in overtime. Reese was in this game. It was an 18-18 overtime draw until MLS was able to pull off their win and get the victory. And tough loss for Reese. This is a well-balanced team. I guess you could say a little bit of a surprising team this year, possibly, but they had a pretty good season. They stayed in a lot of close games this season as well.
Yeah,
some games maybe got away from them, and this was probably one of them.
Yeah, and I mean the USA loss was a tough one for them because they basically needed that to have any type of chance at the conference title. Snooze still has them projected making the playoffs.
Yeah,
they'll have Sandusky this week at Sandusky. Sandusky, with Reese being Division 8, Sandusky Division 7, Reese would get some bonus points if they were to beat Sandusky. They're currently projected to play Harbor Beach in the first round. So tough draw, but if you get in, you get in. I mean, that's a huge thing for a program to be able to get into the playoffs. They were able to get in last season. They snuck in. It's been a good season for Reese, yes.
Yeah, they fought hard in this game. It was 7-0 MLS leading. Then Reese scores in the second quarter, making it 7-6. They didn't score in the third, but they only allowed 3 points. That was a field goal to MLS. And then MLS scores 8 in the fourth quarter, but Reese scoring 12 to come back in this game and tie it up. But it was Saginaw MLS getting the extra points in overtime to pull off the victory. Reese could not convert themselves because I do believe both teams have the opportunity in high school football, just like college football, to get on the field and have the opportunity out there to score. Cole Strichter, a sophomore, 4 for 9, passing 72 yards. He had an interception, so that turnover costly, obviously, in this game. Andrew Miller for MLS, 8 of 16, 129 yards, a touchdown, but had 2 interceptions. Obviously, that led to Reese coming back in this game.
Yep.
Rushing-wise for the Reese Rockets, Deegan Carter, the senior, 12 carries, 61 yards. Cole Strichter, the sophomore, 9 carries, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Dylan Perry, a junior, 9 carries, 28 yards, and a touchdown. They got some youth on here where Reese, along with that sophomore quarterback, Cole Strichter, they're going to have something to build on here next season.
Yeah.
I mean, even this season right now, but still, man, this looks great. Right. I mean, Carroll's in the same situation here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so Reese again has their final game. They
will be at Sandusky this week, yeah.
Speaking of Sandusky, let's dive into that.
Yeah, Sandusky, it was, the final score is obviously a little lopsided. It was a close game at the half. USA is just able to wear teams down with their play style, and it kind of seems like that's what happened. Obviously, Sandusky, I don't want to say depleted, but they are suffering from some injuries right now. Obviously, Jack Betts was back at quarterback, so that was good. But it was a 1-score halftime lead for USA. They ended up winning 45-14, but it was 22-14 at the half, so just a big second half for USA. But for Sandusky, Jack Betts was 19 of 30 for 196 yards. Chase Green ran for 35 yards on 8 carries.
He did have a touchdown pass and an interception. So
okay.
Yeah.
And defensively, Chase Green had 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. Nathaniel Tovar had 7 catches for 105 yards, and he also had 9 tackles. So it's Sandusky will be playing for pride this week and playing for potentially keeping Reese out of the playoffs.
Yeah, just 83 yards rushing, by the way, for
right.
Sandusky in that game. A lot of passing, almost 196. So
yeah, and
Davis Peters for USA, 70 yards passing, a 2-point conversion also. Carson Dixon, 2 catches, 24 yards. Owen Caulfield, 1 catch, 25 yards. Trying to find who had the carries. Brady Green, top player for USA.
Yeah.
12 carries, 132 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Bryson Biner, 8 carries, 75 yards, 2-point conversion. Grady Bolzman, 2 carries, 18 yards. Man, they got a good 1-2 punch in the backfield there. Tristan Thompson of USA rushed for a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in the 45-14 win over Sandusky. It's been a rough season for the Sandusky Wolves. They fall to 2-6 overall. They finished the season against the Reese Rockets, so that game looked pretty bright, but this game still could finish on a good note here. Sandusky can cause some trouble here for Reese.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I don't think the Sandusky team has given up by any means, which is a credit to head coach Ryan Palmer. And we've been seeing more and more new names kind of pop up on the stat sheet, which is a good thing, and also a good and bad thing because you're suffering from some injuries, but you're also getting these younger players some opportunities, and that's great going into next season. Looking at their schedule, it was. Again, a really tough schedule for Sandusky, but you're in the Big Thumb Conference White Division for a reason. Enrollment speaking, you should be competing with these teams, but you lose 14-0 to open the season. The Carroll loss was a tough one, and then this USA. I mean, it just seems like it just got away from them in the second half. So
and Unionville Seaboone is sitting very comfortable spot in their playoff spot in Division 8. They are at the 14th ranked spot, so 32.375 points. They're going to be in the playoffs regardless of their loss in Week 9. They do have a game against Saginaw Valley Lutheran.
Valley Lutheran is sitting at 8-0, and just looking through their schedule really quick, they beat Ithaca 23-22. Ithaca, traditionally a pretty good program. Yeah. They're 6-2 this year. Sorry, I just exited out on that real quick. But.
Yeah, they're by the way, USA is 10 points ahead of that very last seed in Division 8, so they're going to sit pretty comfortable here, despite what could be a loss. But if USA can pull off a great win here,
you can't really play this game because it doesn't. It depends on how teams match up, and this happened. These games happened at different times and stuff. But just for comparison's sake. Sandusky lost to Saginaw Nouvelle 14-0 in Week 1. In Week 3, Saginaw Valley Lutheran beat Saginaw Nouvelle 27-20. Kind of a close game. Outside of that, not really a tough schedule for Valley Lutheran. Obviously a great season sitting at 8-0, but USA, I mean, they definitely have a shot in this game if they're not favored. And that will be the 92-1 game of the week. Let's Talk Sports, Scott Bowlesby and Landon Schott. So it'll be good to have eyes on that one because USA currently is matched up with New Lothrop in the first round of the playoffs, which New Lothrop, a traditional power, of course, but this season they're 5-3 with 2 straight losses to Montrose and Ovid Elsie. So, a win over a Division 7 Saginaw Valley Lutheran could be huge for USA. Maybe jump over New Lothrop, get a home game. But New Lothrop, Week 9, has Sheboygan, and they should be the favorites in that one. So,
all right, more Big Thumb teams to talk about when we come back after a 7 o'clock news break here on Thumb Sportsline on WMIC 95.3 FM. I'm Eddie Fury, and that is Mike Gallagher. Thumb Sportsline, the number 1 show in Palmyra Atoll in the Pacific. by the way.
I'll take your word for it.
We'll be right back here on Thumb Sportsline.
Keep your radio locked on the Thumb's information station, 660 WMIC AM Sandusky and 95.3 FM W237EQ Sandusky.
Extreme weather and climate disasters have sadly become a reoccurring part of our lives. But while 83% of pet owners live in disaster-prone areas, less than half have a disaster plan in place. Even worse, these plans often tend to forget about our furry friends. It's now more crucial than ever to have a well-packed pet disaster kit on standby with your pet's essentials like food and medicines. For over 140 years, the team at American Humane have been lending a hand to animals in need, whether it's rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the welfare of animal actors on screen, or safeguarding our planet's endangered species. They're committed to creating a better world for animals. Remember, natural disasters threaten humans and animals alike. So take precautions to keep you and your pet safe. For more information, please check out AmericanHumane.org.
Message brought to you by American Humane.
Welcome back to Thumb Sportsline on WMIC 95.3 FM and streaming online at SanilacBroadcasting.com. Just found out that not only are we are on Spotify, but...
Yeah, Nick Lean just informed us that we are on Amazon, YouTube, and Apple Music, which I think the show might be getting too big, Eddie.
By demand.
By demand, yeah.
Asking us.
People were demanding that we take it off Spotify, so we put it on all these other services as well.
All right.
Eddie, before we get into more football talk, I have a couple of TSA housekeeping things to do.
Okay.
This week, in a victory over Memphis, Mayville quarterback Tyrus Davidson rushed for 211 yards and 4 touchdowns. For his efforts, he is named the TSA's 8-player football player of the week. Nice. In a victory over Leslie, Millington running back Logan Myers rushed for 238 yards and 3 touchdowns. For his efforts, he is named the TSA's 11-player football player of the week. Polls, schmoles, Eddie. I'll go with the 11-player first. Harbor Beach, number 1. Millington, number 2. Top 2 teams going at it this week in Week 9 to decide likely the TSA team of the year, maybe. But, you know, that's a conversation for a different day.
It's going to be a difficult decision, yeah.
It will be, yes.
Yeah. More so this year than any time.
Well, if Harbor Beach wins, it makes an easy decision for us. Yeah. If Millington wins, then we'll have some conversations to make.
And Cass City says, hey, over here.
Right. Cass City is currently 3rd in the polls. Lakers is at 4, USA at 5. Croslex moved up to number 6. Reese is at 7, and Caro is just outside of the top 7. They were receiving 4 votes. In the 8-player polls, Eddie, Deckerville and Kingston are currently tied for first place in the polls. Brown City is 3rd. North Huron is 4th. Peck 5th. Bad Axe 6th. Akron Fairgrove in the polls this week at number 7. Caseville and Mayville also received votes. We don't have to get into it too much, Eddie, but I do want to hear your thoughts on voting Kingston number 1 this week. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Was that me?
Well, we had 5 voters vote for Deckerville, and we had 5 vote for Kingston. Now, the context, obviously, Deckerville lost to K-Pac.
Yeah.
Kingston beat Dryden. They beat them pretty impressively.
Yeah, that was a high-scoring game, too.
But the week before, Deckerville had the head-to-head matchup.
Yeah.
So I, full disclosure, voted for Deckerville at number 1. Apologies to Coach Hartzell. But kind of an interesting thing there.
Well, from my understanding, this is a weekly poll, so it's like a weekly game report.
Okay.
That's how I've been voting.
Okay.
How did that team do that weekend? Were they worthy of having that spot?
Right.
Kingston beat Dryden. Deckerville lost, so Kingston had
So it's more with the college football polls. Like even if you have the head-to-head matchup.
We're going week by week.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Now the final season-ending poll.
Yeah.
That's something that will really,
Right. And team of the year would be.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
So just a little context for that. I don't disagree.
I voted for Kingston this week.
Yes,
but it's a weekly poll.
Right.
So that week,
Right. And I think, Kingston has earned first place votes. They had a huge win against Dryden, and Deckerville, unfortunately, lost to K-Pac. So, but it was interesting to see how the polls shook out this week.
So Kingston, Deckerville, where were they at? Were they tied or?
Well, last week, Kingston was number 2 after losing to Deckerville.
Yes.
Now they're both tied they're tied for first place.
Okay.
With 65 points. And they also share the Big Thumb Conference Blue Division Conference title with the Deckerville loss and the Kingston win. So.
Okay. All right. So we continue. Are we any other?
That's all I got for TSA stuff.
By the way, the Thumb Sports Writers Association does have a Facebook page. Follow that. You'll see the graphics and that on there with our polls and also the nice graphics that are put up by who does it? Jason does.
The graphics are made by Jason Parmenter, yes,
of Quad and Pro.
Yep,
and and it is a collaborative effort. Especially with these sports writers who are principally at the game. So please pick up their publications and follow them. Buy your online subscription. I have them, and just read their publications. They do. Yeah. They're doing the footwork here. What seems like to be sometimes 6-7 days a week. Even on their off days, they're working like I am. I'm pretty much 7 days a week. I continue to do a little bit of tidbit work just to catch up and stay ahead. And it's a lot of hard work, a lot of time, and a late night. So appreciate all the sports writers out there. So appreciate it.
When we first started doing the polls, it seemed like we got a lot more feedback, whether it be mostly negative or positive, but we don't really receive as much negative feedback anymore. So either we're getting better at the polls or people don't care about the polls. So either way, we're fine.
All right. Okay, so we move on, and the Big Thumb Big Thumb Conference 11-player football with our recaps as well. So let's continue. Anything else of note?
Nope, that's it.
Okay,
I'll let you run the show now.
And I'm hoping if we decide to do something on Sunday or not, but definitely next Tuesday we'll definitely have a lot more TSA members creeping up here and having a special guest here. So we're really looking forward to that. We might have to maybe go to a central location maybe and meet up with everybody.
We'll have to see what Lou's doing on Sunday in Deckerville.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we can barge in. We can barge in on their party.
That'd be a great. All right, Carroll Tigers. Look at them, man! Back-to-back wins. They get this time over Vassar Vulcans, who last week in Week 7 got the win over Marlette. This time, Carroll Tigers get a big win, 36-24. A hard-fought win, but they got it. And man, they put up some rushing out there. 300 yards rushing on 40 carries, 3 touchdowns for Carroll Tigers over the Vassar Vulcans. Passing-wise, they try to keep a little bit of balance here. Got to keep it honest. 7 for 14 for passing, 82 yards passing, and 1 touchdown pass for the Carroll Tigers to win 36-24. Now
that rushing stat line is so impressive because the game you did the week before against Sandusky, they did it through the air for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's great to see the balance from Carroll. We've shown a lot of love to Coach Love on this show.
Yeah,
and I don't see any way he doesn't win TSA Coach of the Year. I mean, for the job he's done at Carroll, it's so impressive.
In his first year.
Yeah,
and he's got a young team.
Yeah,
these guys are getting better game by game here. So
yeah.
And so anyways...
And, Vassar was playing with some momentum, too, coming off the win against Marlette.
Yeah. So it was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Vassar scores 8 in the second quarter. Carroll gets 6 also. So they're leading at halftime 20-8. While Vassar made a charge in the third quarter, scoring 16 points. Carroll trying to keep that lead and hanging on with 8 points in the third quarter. They were able to shut out Vassar in the fourth quarter. Carroll gets that insurance touchdown in the fourth quarter to win 36-24. Yeah, that's how close this game was.
Right.
But still, 2 touchdown lead, 12-point win for the Carroll Tigers. To at this point now, Carroll Tigers are currently 4-4 overall, and I'm curious where they fall in the playoff points right now, or what division. So
with Carroll, it's kind of tough because they are in a bigger division.
Right, they're a bigger school.
Yeah, they're a bigger school, so they're mostly playing schools that are smaller than them, so you don't get as many playoff points for their victories. However, if Carroll has Langsburg this week, obviously we know nothing about them. Mm-hmm. However, if Carroll were to get a win, it would be their first winning season since 2010. So regardless of if they make the playoffs or not, this is a huge game. Even if they lose, you still have to feel really good about 4 and 5, especially with how competitive they were in all their games. But finishing 5 and 4 would be so huge for this program, and hopefully they're able to finish it off.
Yeah, and I did not get a chance to talk to the coach at all at my game. When they took on Sandusky, I was quite busy up there in the press box. I'm sure he was excited about the win over Sandusky as well, to get his feel and how it's been. They actually fall in Almont's division. Division 6, and Carroll's got a lot of points to make up here. They're kind of out of it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12.
Yeah,
out. They have 24.375 points, while Clintondale has 29.2. So a lot to make up there. But man, let's build on this. Let's keep this going. Let's go in and get a winning record here.
Right, you get a winning record. You carry that momentum into the off season. You carry that into the weight room, and maybe you look at their schedule. USA was possibly a winnable game. That was an 8-6 game, I believe, at one point. Lakers, they lost by 12. Millington, they lost by 14. But these were all competitive games, Eddie. And if Carroll is able to get a win in one of those games next season, maybe that'll be the difference.
So this is what Carroll has coming back. Mason Henry is a junior, the quarterback. 7 of 14, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. They'd have an interception. Rushing-wise, Aiden Savage, a junior. 250 yards rushing, 28 carries, 2 touchdowns. Mason Henry, again, he's a rushing quarterback. 24 yards, 5 carries. 18 yards carry for Grusbeck. He's a sophomore, 18 yards, but he had a touchdown in this game. So he does a lot of the lead blocking, too, for Savage. For Vassar, Maddox, Gorleski, listen to this. They didn't have much rushing, but, man, they passed 218 yards, 22 completions out of 35 attempts.
Wow.
2 touchdowns.
So he's putting together another nice season at quarterback for Vassar,
Rushing-wise, that was the problem. 19 carries for 27 yards. A credit to the Carroll Tiger defense on that. Receiving for the Vassar Vulcans, Cole Nickerson, the junior. They got a lot of youth, too, coming back to this next season.
And a first-year head coach.
Yeah. 6 receptions, 78 yards for Cole Nickerson, a junior. Carmelo Poe, a junior, 62 yards receiving. Both those guys had touchdown passes. 5 receptions, 50 yards for Chris Serta, a junior. A lot of juniors and sophomores on this team. And their quarterback is a junior as well. So both teams here, Carroll and Vassar, kind of similar youth coming back next year. I see some good strides here because I think this team, it seems like they're both kind of buying in despite the records, especially for Vassar, starting to buy in this type of offense for them. But for Carroll, man, I'm really impressed.
Yeah. Well, and they could both finish the season with a win as Vassar plays Perry in Week 9.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good win for Carroll, and
Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I got every team in here. We
got to talk Marlette, Eddie.
Yes, this is your team here. They hung on this game. It was a close one. 29-22, though, was a loss for Marlette, but they hung in there. They lose 29-22 to Ann Arbor Skyline. Mike, I'll let you carry this.
So this was, Eddie, first of all, for context, Ann Arbor Skyline Division I football team.
Wow.
Marlette Division 8, and now going to 8-player football. Ann Arbor Skyline got out to a 16-0 lead in the second quarter. So for Marlette, you could have, you're on the road, you're playing a bigger school. You could have just said, okay, we're done. The season hasn't been going our way anyway. We're not going to get into the playoffs. But they didn't do that. They responded. With 3 minutes to go in the half, Luke Thomas scored on a big run for the Red Raiders. But with 50 seconds left in the half, Ann Arbor Skyline went back up 22-6, which We've seen that problem with Marlette this season, giving up a score right before the end of the half. But again, we see Marlette come back and battle back. Owen Anderson opened the second half scoring by punching in a 1-yard score, and a 2-point conversion pass from Trey Lester to Carter Gonzalez made the score 22-14. On the ensuing kickoff, the Red Raiders recovered an onside kick, and from there, Anderson scored his second touchdown of the night. This one from 20 yards out. Trey Lester again connected on a 2-point conversion pass to Payne Diegelbeck, and the score was tied 22-22. Marlette would then again recover an onside kick. So we saw last week Marlette was kind of beat on their special teams. This week they kind of flipped the script on that, and they recover a couple of onside kicks. So it's tied, and in the third quarter, with the onside kicks, Ann Arbor Skyline didn't run an offensive play. So that's a great game plan if you're able to pull that off. But with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left to play in the game, Skyline found the end zone on a 34-yard touchdown run, and they went ahead 29-22. Marlette drove down the field and had the ball at the Skyline 10-yard line with 30 seconds left, but on 2nd and 10, a fumble by the Red Raiders ended the game. Coach Denny Lester said, it was a heartbreaking way to end the game. We have had a very rough season. The guys really battled back, and we gave ourselves an opportunity to win the game. It was disappointing that we couldn't get the win, but I'm very proud of the way we battled. And I think that's a huge thing to take out of this. The fact that they were down 16-0. They were down 22-6. They gave up a score right before halftime. They don't have much to play for, but they still battled in this game. Owen Anderson had another great game. Marlette finished with 376 total yards of offense. Anderson finished with he had a 23-yard pass that he threw a 23-yard pass, but he finished with 84 yards rushing on 15 carries. Luke Thomas had 76 yards on just 4 carries. Adam Wilcox had 56 yards on 17 attempts. Trey Lester was 6 of 10 passing for 128 yards, and Luke Thomas had 3 receptions for 79 yards. So good game for Luke Thomas, good game for Owen Anderson. Anderson kind of climbing up the football leaderboard for rushing leaders. He is currently 6th in Sanilac County in rushing. On the season, he has 84 carries for 501 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, again, that's something we talked about last week. Owen Anderson going to be a big player for Marlette next season in their first year of 8-player football. They will have Elkton Pigeon Bayport this week. That will be at home for Marlette. So that's, an advantage. But, Lakers, the favorite, I would say. But we saw that Marlette's going to keep battling. They battled against Vassar. They battled against Ann Arbor Skyline. And, I expect them to put forth their best effort against Lakers as well.
Okay, and good luck to Marlette. I know it's going to be a very tough game against the Lakers, who are smarting off, back-to-back losses. And,
right.
And
but
speaking
of... When you look at the Lakers, Lakers still has a fantastic defense.
Yeah.
I mean, that
they held Harbor Beach to 20-6.
Right, which, it with the context of Harbor Beach.
With Harbor Beach winning over Lakers.
Right, huge win for Harbor Beach. And a 26 win doesn't really seem like it's that close. And maybe it probably wasn't, but Harbor Beach has the best offense in the thumb, and Lakers was able to hold them to 20 points, which, again, still a lot of points, but in the context of how good Harbor Beach is, that's a good showing for Lakers, defensively at least. So
speaking of that game, Harbor Beach gets to win 20-6. Another cross-conference game here, Black Division versus the White Division. It was, by the way, tri-champions in the Big Thumb White Division with the Elkton Pigeon Bayport Lakers, the Millington Cardinals, and the Cassidy Redhawks. Congratulations to all teams beating each other there.
Yep.
Harbor Beach, the outright Big Thumb Black Division champions.
Yep.
Now they're looking, they'll have a Week 9 preview here, a big game in Millington. If they can win that game, you can claim that were the Big Thumb Conference champions.
Well, yeah, because, they beat Cass City week 1. They beat Lakers last week. And if they beat Millington, then they'll beat all 3 of the conference champions from the white division.
Yeah.
Which, considering, Harbor Beach is in the black division, which is the lower enrollment.
Yeah.
The fact that they have 2 wins against bigger opponents is already pretty impressive.
0-0 at the end of the first quarter. Harbor Beach, though, scores 14 points in the second quarter. 0 for Lakers. They got their score in the third quarter was 6 points. And Harbor Beach getting 6 points in the fourth quarter, 20-6. This is the lowest scoring output, I do believe, for Harbor Beach all season.
And I don't want it to sound like we're criticizing Harbor Beach at all. It's more
a great win. It's still a good win.
It's more so saying that the Lakers' defense is good, and Marlette. The offense has been moving the ball pretty well the past couple weeks, but I think it's going to be a little bit tougher against Lakers. Yeah,
Lakers could not limit Harbor Beach's rushing game. In fact, Harbor Beach had no passing game.
Don't need it.
They had 281 yards rushing and 41 carries. The Harbor Beach defense held rushing yards to Lakers on 25 carries to 73 yards rushing. 5 receptions for 115 yards passing for the defense, passing yards for Lakers. So, it was just ground and pound for Harbor Beach for the most part in this game. They had 45 yards and penalties, Harbor Beach did, to Lakers 16, which is, unusual. So, because usually they have a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But credit Harbor Beach. They knew they were going to go up a very tough team here. Lakers, same deal here.
Well, and we've said it with Harbor Beach, their playoffs have basically started already. The Reese game was technically a conference championship game. Lakers is a playoff team. Millington is a playoff team. And, that's what the good teams do. They schedule these tough opponents to wrap up the regular season so that you can get yourself rolling heading into the playoffs. And, it seems like Harbor Beach is they're rolling right now. Now, on the other hand, Millington had a nice win this week against Leslie, which, again, non-conference opponent. But,
at one point in this game, it was 14-6, 1:30 left in the third quarter, according to the WOW Sports recap write-up, too. So it was still a close game here in the third quarter.
Okay.
But, go ahead. You were going to finish?
Nope. That's all you.
Yeah. Harbor Beach, led by Rogan Messing, 118 yards and 16 carries, 2 touchdowns. Kaden Buchholz held to 4 incomplete passes by the Lakers secondary. Still finished with 47 yards and 2 carries and a touchdown score for the Harbor Beach Pirates. Lakers, Luke Good, made good, 11 carries, 45 yards. Lavasser, first name?
Ben.
5 for 11 in passing for 130 yards and 1 interception, which probably could have cost him in this game.
Well, you can't make many mistakes against Harbor Beach.
Yes, yeah. So I am curious, and it would seem like indicating from the score here that most of your starters for Harbor Beach played the whole game in this one.
Well, and that's another reason that you play these tough games, because there's been a lot of games where the Harbor Beach starters probably haven't played in the second half.
Yeah.
Great win for Harbor Beach. I know. I think Clark will be doing Harbor Beach Millington. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
By the way, another Buchholz, but on the Lakers side, had a 1-yard TD run, too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Quick update from Scott Bowlesby. North Branch takes the first set against Imlay City 25-23. Sounds like he is watching some good volleyball over in North Branch tonight.
All right, and that's for the BWAC part of the, I don't know how you were trying to figure
it's part
that
of
out.
the equation, yes.
Yeah. A shout out to WOW Sports for the recap and coverage of that Lakers Harbor Beach game, and to Ashley Weiner-Palmer for sending me stats as well to get through this recap here.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley.
Another shout out to Kristen Salick and also the Scott Bowlesby, Tuscola County Advertiser. They have sent the information for the Millington game, and what a big win for Millington. 55. You ready for this final score?
Yeah.
55-26 over Leslie.
Okay.
Millington scores 14 in the first quarter. Leslie 6, made it 14-6. Okay, that's close there. Millington scores another 14 in the second quarter to Leslie 7. And then it seemed like this was the pattern, 14 or 13 points every quarter. That's what Millington did to win 55-26. Leslie scored in every quarter themselves. It's just Millington doubled it up there. So good win for them. In fact, listen to this, 47 yards rushing, for Millington. 47 carries on 549 yards. They limited Leslie to 19 rushes for 40 yards. 1 reception for 4 yards for Millington, and it was 22 completions for 318 passing yards for Leslie. Yeah, man, it was just all the run and ground and pound. 549 ridiculous yards for Millington. They're going to need that against this Harbor Beach Pirate team. Anticipated matchup here in Week 9. Look at that little bit of a gauntlet here that Harbor Beach has had here at the end of the season.
Yeah.
To lead up to this point, a highly anticipated matchup. This is where I wish I wasn't doing a game.
Right.
I
so
wish my game was on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Hello, Memphis CPS.
Yeah.
So I could attend this game. And this is I'm going to miss out on this, but I'm going to be watching this closely on my my network.
So you don't have I won't make you make a prediction yet. We'll wait for that. But when we talked about the Deckerville-Kingston game, we talked about how either it was going to be a high-scoring back and forth or a low-scoring defensive battle.
Yeah.
What are you expecting with Harbor Beach Millington? High-scoring, or do you think the defenses are going to settle in? Or what are your expectations?
I think these are both power-running teams.
Yeah.
Ground and pound, but both teams can pass if needed.
Right.
I've seen Harbor Beach pass a lot against Marlette when I saw them, but they had a pretty well-balanced offense there. So, it's just such a tough pick right now because we've seen Cass City, how they beat Millington.
Right.
So maybe Harbor Beach is studying that tape there. I know Millington's going to learn from that. Obviously, that's what they do. Logan Myers, though, is a player to stop, but they have a 1-2 punch. Logan and Hudson Myers, 238 yards rushing that Logan Myers had against Leslie. 15 rushes and 3 touchdowns. Hudson Myers had 13 carries, 184 yards, and 1 touchdown. You didn't have to really lean on Drake Terwilliger. He still had 7 carries on 58 yards, but had 2 touchdowns in their win. They have a lot of weapons in the backfield. Harbor Beach, we kind of hear the same names, that pop up, but, at least Millington has a choice here. And maybe that might be a problem for Harbor Beach to really focus on.
Right.
So.
And one other quick note on that matchup, looking at the box score provided by WLEW Sports and Clark Ramsey, Benson Harper was back in the lineup.
He was, okay.
Yeah, so, that could be...
they were teasing me. When I went to the Marlette game,
right,
and he was dressed, I go, Coach, is he going to play? He goes, he could. He might be. And I go, is he going to dress? He goes, yeah, he's going to dress.
Yeah.
And I'm telling Ash, I'm excited here. She goes, is he? Because she might have had an inside scoop, but he was dressed.
Well, she always has the inside scoop on Harbor Beach.
He was dressed, but he didn't play.
Yeah. So it looks like, they didn't use him very much offensively. He didn't have any carries, and he was only targeted once. But he did have 4 tackles on defense.
Okay. Yeah. Good defensive player, by the way. So.
Yes, absolutely. Good player in, special teams, defense, offense. Just having him back in the lineup is going to be huge for Harbor Beach, and it could be the difference having a player like him back in your lineup.
All right, so the Big Thumb Conference recap here: Cass City against Saginaw MLS, Reese against Sandusky, Carroll versus Lanesburg, Lakers up against Marlette, Harbor Beach against Millington. That is the premier game in the Big Thumb Conference. Clinton's up against Ubley, Perry and Vassar. Lakers and Marlette, Saginaw Valley, Lutheran, and USA. I might have said that, but there you go. And that, by the way, on WLEW Sports, they're going to have Harbor Beach and Millington game. Saginaw Valley Lutheran up against Unionville Seaweed. That will be on 92.1 WIDL with Scott Bowlesby and Landon Schott. Dave Hansen and Clark Ramsey on the call, along with their fine staff on WLEW Sports for their game for Harbor Beach and Millington. So,
all right.
A lot of great coverage here for the TSA. I'm having double coverage, Brown City Bridgman should be a good game. That's some really good Brown City playoff points they can earn against a good Bridgman team, by the way. It might hopefully earn them a first-round playoff game. We don't know yet because there's a lot of really close points right now.
I'm waiting for Snooze's 8.5 predictions to come out before I make any playoff plans. Yeah.
And I will be covering 2 winless teams. I want to get my Carson Report Sanilac Tigers in. They deserve the coverage there. And we're doing our duty here as a Sanilac broadcasting station to get them in. I'm really happy. I know that they probably don't know it yet. If they're listening, hey, I'm coming out to do Carson Report Sanilac at Memphis Yellow Jackets. Never been to the Hive. I'm excited about that, too. to come to Memphis.
Yeah, and Eddie, I've seen CPS a couple times. I've seen them recently. The New Haven Merritt game, despite the loss, CPS was a lot of fun to watch in that game. While we're discussing it, Eddie Fury is looking for a color commentator for the CPS Memphis game.
I could use some help.
So if there's any CPS Tigers or any former CPS Tigers that want to come out and get your break into your career in broadcasting, or just want to hang out and talk about CPS football, reach out to me or Eddie, and we'll get you lined up for the game.
Talking to you, Coach Brabrant.
Oh, there's a good one. Yeah.
State champion.
Yeah.
The first high school A-player state champion officially, too. All right. We'll be back here. Speaking of A-player football, I believe we got all our Big Thumb Conference, our BWAC teams. We dive into high school A-player football as we continue here on Thumb Sportsline and WMIC 95.3 FM. I got a lot of stations I used to work for, so. And I probably appeared on more radio stations, too, than anybody in the PSA at this point. Here on Thumb Sportsline, WMIC 95.3 FM. We're streaming online at SanilacBroadcasting.com, where our show is used as an interrogation tactic in Belarus.
Right.
Hi, this is Steve Kohler from Kohler's Propane. It's that special time of year. The footballs are flying, there are fall festivals, and trips to the cider mills, and many school activities. We would like to thank the many volunteers who work hard to make these special times fun and safe. Whether it's working for a safe harvest, driving safely, and watching for the youngsters on our streets and sidewalks, please do your part to prevent an accident.
And this is Joni. Along with fall comes a reminder that cold weather is on the way. Now is the time to call Kohler's for that fall fill-up. We guarantee your price for 1 full year, offer free tank installation with keep full and budget plans available. For information, call us toll-free 800-572-2191 or visit our website, getkohlers.com.
For more information, call 1-800-572-2191. Kohler Propane in Brown City, Memphis, and Bad Axe. And remember,
nobody gives you gas like Kohler's.
Great internet isn't just about staying connected. It's about knowing knowledgeable, reliable support is there when you need it most. That's why ABS Broadband is proud to announce that we now offer 24-hour customer support 7 days a week. No AI, no chatbots, and no endless menus. Just real human help whenever you need it. With ABS Broadband, you get greater capability for everything you do online, from working at home or helping your kids with school to gaming and streaming your favorite shows. It's internet that works as hard as you do. At ABS Broadband, we keep it simple. No hidden fees, no deceptive introductory rates, just straightforward pricing and plans that fit your life. Find out what's available in your area at absbroadband.com/internet. That's absbroadband.com/internet. Or talk to our helpful sales team at 888-282-4932. ABS Broadband, keeping you connected to what matters most 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
This is Denny King, the king of cars, with More Motors Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Caro. It's time for you to get more for your money with More Motors of Caro, and that means big savings for you. Never pay more than sticker price when you shop More Motors of Caro. A lot of dealers, especially the city dealers, mark up their inventory and charge people an arm and a leg. They call it a market adjustment. There's a reason your friends and neighbors have been driving to Caro for more than 60 years. They can purchase the same Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram from More Motors of Caro for thousands less. At More Motors Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Caro, we value transparency, fair deals, and realistic trade offers. So come see me today, Denny King, the king of cars, or any of our staff at More Motors of Caro, to be treated fairly and know you're getting the best deal possible. Come see why your friends and neighbors have been driving to More Motors of Caro.
Your friends at Liberty Lane say, come on down and join our team.
Let's go bowling!
Register now for a fall bowling league. There are openings on ladies' leagues for Wednesday morning and evening, men's leagues on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, and mixed leagues on Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings. Beginners are welcome. Just stop in or call 810-648-9860. Also openings on the wait staff, so apply now.
Let's go bowling!
Liberty Lanes, West Park, Sandusky. the Thumb area's top choice for great bowling.
Let's go bowling!
I'm Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion with your Detroit Red Wings, and you're listening to your host of Sportsline, WMIC. Listen, or I will beat you to a pulp. Well, not really.
Red Wings.
I love that so much.
Do you?
That's so cool.
The Red Wings, man, doing pretty darn good right now. 5 straight. Yeah.
It's so cool because you can, I appreciate Darren McCarty taking the time and everything, but he obviously doesn't know what Sportsline is or who we are, but
it's cool that
it's still cool that he was willing to do that.
Well, yeah, because it's cool that Darren McCarty's a fan of Eddie Fury, so
that's it. Yes, yeah.
No. He said he'd come up and bowl. Actually,
really,
golf or bowl.
Okay.
So I'd love to get his band up here and play. Yeah, we're looking for some bands because we're gonna have a Fury Fest, maybe.
Okay.
I'm trying to plan this.
Sounds dangerous.
Yes, it did. Okay.
We talked a little bit about Darren McCarty on last week's episode, but I do want to say I forgot about this line from him because, as I mentioned, I covered his comedy show.
Oh, yeah?
When I worked at the Huron Daily Tribune, and it was at Ubley Heights. And I had the opportunity to sit down and talk to him before the show, which was a highlight of my career, obviously. But one of my favorite quotes from him was, he said that my God he hates ugly and he loves Ubley.
Oh,
so that's pretty,
nice.
It's a pretty good line.
I like that. Yeah. All right. So high school 8-player football recap.
Finally.
The Bay City
Been waiting all night.
Okay, Big Thumb Red Division. They had a big title game here, and the Bay City All St. Cougars came in and ripped the North Huron Warriors. 72-8 was the final score at the half. All Saints had the lead 48-8. With that big win, the All Saints clinches the Big Thumb Red Division league title. Their only loss of the season came way back in Week 1, where they were leading in the game against Deckerville. Deckerville comes back in the second half and wins. So, big deal there for the All Saints, 72-8. No, they do have another loss. Onekama. They do have 2 losses. Yeah. In the Big Thumb Conference, just 1 loss.
Yeah.
In other league games overall, they do have 2 losses.
Right.
Onekama, who's still a very strong team in 8-player football, by the way.
Yeah.
But hey, congratulations to the All Saints. Another 70-plus point win, 3 straight wins in a row like that.
Yeah. With Bay City All Saints, they've made the announcement. So Bay City All Saints currently co-ops with Bay City Academy.
Okay.
And so Bay City All Saints is in the Red Division because alone they are enrollment-wise in the Red Division. But when you add the co-op, they're technically a Division I program, which is why you see these lopsided scores and such. But starting next season, Bay City Academy will have its own 8-player football team. It sounds like they will be joining the Big Thumb Conference. I'm not confirming that.
Really?
It's just we probably I don't know. All Saints is a great program, and they'll probably continue to keep winning. But I think that split of the co-op will kind of even things back out in the Red Division. At least I hope, because 72-8 in a conference championship game is kind of disappointing. We've talked about All Saints. You got to do what you got to do. You got to play the team that you got to play. So, but I did think that North Huron would put up. I don't want to say put up a better fight, but I did think it was going to be closer. But as you had mentioned on last week's show, they did get another offensive player back in Jeffrey Hartman.
Yep.
So that there's just too much there to stop. And congratulations to the All Saints on the conference title.
It's 3rd straight outright league title too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Extending its league winning streak to 20 games.
Yeah.
And this was played, I do believe, in front of their home crowd. It was a pink out night, senior night, and also basically secure them an actual good playoff spot in the playoffs too, because it's very narrow. There are not that many teams in 8-player football at this point. 6-2 overall for the Bay City All Saints. North Huron Falls is 6-2 themselves, 5-1 in league play.
Yeah, and unfortunately for North Huron, that's a 5-2 record because they were unable to get a game to replace Ashley on the schedule.
Yep.
So North Huron likely will not be making the postseason, which is unfortunate because they're a good team. They've had a good season, but it's very hard to make the playoffs in 8-player Division II. So,
Bo Williams scoring 5 touchdowns.
Jeez.
Rushing for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns and 7 carries, caught a 46-yard touchdown pass, returned a punt for 66 yards for a score, and returned an interception to the end zone, much like he did against Peck. So,
well, and when you're scoring touchdowns on punt, like offensively, you can slow things down and you can, try and not run up the score, I guess, but you're not going to just not return a punt or not return an interception. I mean, that's just instinct to try and score on plays like that.
Quarterback Jack Wetters, the dual threat for Bay City All-Saint Cougars, 2 of 4 for passing for just 56 yards, 2 touchdowns though, while rushing 5 times for 86 yards and a touchdown. Jeffrey Hartman, you talked about him. Gavin Akins, rushing touchdowns also. Dorian McNary, forget about him.
Yeah.
Hauled in a TD reception in the win.
Just a ton of
of talent on this team. Now, All Saints concludes the regular season at home in Week 9 when it hosts St. Charles, a late replacement after Potterville canceled its final 2 games of the season. That tidbit coming from MLive.com, by the way. So credit to them on that one. North Huron against All Saints, 1 of 7 for passing, just 5 yards. Had 2 interceptions in this game. Rushing-wise, they had 40 carries, got 167 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
See, North Huron's they're a tough physical team. They can get yards, but again, just too much for All Saints.
Yeah, so there you go. And you're saying North Huron may not make it.
They will likely not make it.
Okay, Bay City All Saints 6-2. They're hanging in there. The Region 3, District 1, and Division 1 8-player football. They'll be in the conglomerate of Kingston, Brown City, All Saints, and K-Pac. There's a lot of drama.
That's a lot of fun.
In playoffs with All Saints and Brown City and Kingston all there right there.
Yeah.
So, and K-Pac, look at them. At 6-2 right now. We'll talk about them in just a bit.
Okay.
All right. The Bad Axe Hatchets fell short against a very good Brown City team, 34-30. Man, they took it to Brown City. Carter McMinn led the offense, 16 carries for 182 yards and 2 touchdowns and a 1 2-point conversion. Carter also added a catch for 42 yards and a touchdown. A.J. Fritz, 10 carries, 51 yards and a touchdown. He also had 3 catches for 63 yards receiving. Jackson Walschlager, the quarterback, 6 of 13 for 120 yards and a passing touchdown. Jackson also had 14 yards and 6 carries. Great showing here by the Bad Axe Hatchet football team against still a good Brown City team. 34-30 was the win for Brown City over Bad Axe.
Yeah, and just for a little bit of context for that final score, obviously great performance by Bad Axe. Yeah. I don't want to take anything away from the Hatchets. Lawson Cooper was held out of the game due to an injury. They are hopeful that he will be back this week. It was more of a precautionary thing, it sounds like. And Lawson Cooper, one of the best players in the Thumb, so he makes a big difference.
And you can see how critical certain players can be to the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Lawson Cooper out, and we had already seen 2 weeks ago Garrett Simpson step in at quarterback.
Yes.
So there no issues there. Simpson had another solid game at quarterback. But Kaline Mahalan and Jace Halbert teamed up for over 300 rushing yards. It was 12-0 in the first quarter, and at the half, Brown City was up 12-6. Both teams scored 16 in the third quarter, and Bad Axe actually outscored them 8-6 in the fourth, but they couldn't come all the way back. Mahalan finished the game with 161 yards on just 14 carries, which included an 80-yard touchdown run. Halbert, meanwhile, carried the ball 24 times, going for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Simpson ran for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns on 13 carries, and Aiden Pasco had a 6-yard touchdown run. Hayden Van Damme, huge game for the Green Devil defense. 10 tackles, 8 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. Mulholland and Halbert each had 5 tackles, and Liam Francic had 3 solo tackles and intercepted a pass. So great job by Bad Axe. Great job by Mulholland and Halbert to step up in the absence of Cooper. Hopefully he's back this week. We don't like to speculate on injuries or anything like that, but head coach Aaron Cooper did sound optimistic about him being back this week, because you're going to need him against Bridgman. That's a tough matchup coming up.
All right, and moving on to, and then Brown City will have Bridgman. That will be one of our double coverage games of the week on Sanilac Broadcasting. We believe we're putting that on WBGV 92.5 FM.
Okay.
Bridgman at Brown City. Bridgman coming all the way from the west, over a 3.5-hour drive. They're near St. Joseph area. That's a long drive. I figured this might be a Saturday game, but no.
Right.
They're coming Friday.
Well, and
JV teams playing also.
Yes,
too.
Yeah. So if anybody sees that on the MHSA website, that'll be a JV game and then a varsity game.
Yeah,
so it should still be about a 7 o'clock kickoff.
We hope.
Right.
We hope so. All right, moving on in 8-player football recaps in Week 8. Bear Lake just ripped Caseville Eagles 65-14. Caseville offense, this is from the Huron Daily Tribune. Ben Nugent had 32 yards rushing, 62 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Bear Lake, just too much bear. You don't want to mess with bears.
No.
Especially if you're an Eagle.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Good. That's all we got for that one.
The Vikings of Akron Fairgrove. Listen to this. They got a 24-20 victory on New Haven Merritt with Ames Mahan leading. He had 152 yards on 19 carries, getting into the end zone twice for the Vikings. I hope I'm saying his name. That's Mahan or Mahan or Ames, right? That's Ames, right? A-M-E-S.
I would say Ames Mahan, yeah.
Ames Mahan. So, because of that, we get to play the Viking horn.
It's beautiful.
I think there's one more. It's a Viking horn, so.
Well, they got 3 wins, right? So.
That last horn sounds like this morning where I woke up Mrs. Fury. So there was a Dutch oven going on there. So
Eddie,
right.
Come on, man.
Moving on. What's wrong? You, Mike Gallagher.
What's wrong with you?
She's supposed to keep me in check.
I'm trying my best, man.
Keep me in check. Right. High school. Okay. So up next for the Akron Fairgrove Vikings, they will have Mayville. Mayville, by the way, they get a good win.
That's so great to see.
Yeah, I mean they had to forfeit a game?
They had to forfeit. They had to forfeit the Brown City game, but they did return
the next week.
Yep.
With the win over Memphis, 48-14, your final score in that one, and the Mayville High School 8-player football of the week. I mean,
the
high school 8-player football or TSA is from Mayville.
Yeah.
So
and it's great to see because. Mayville's it's a good program. Mike Campbell does a great job over there, and it's been a tough season for him. And it's always tough when you have to forfeit a game. Obviously, Mayville didn't want to have to forfeit a game, but the fact that they were able to come back and not only win but win convincingly, that had to feel great for the Wildcats. And Memphis, the final score kind of gives me encouragement for CPS's matchup against them this week.
Okay.
Memphis has struggled immensely on defense. Now, again, they play some of the best offenses in the state when you look at Kingston, Deckerville, Brown City, Dryden, K-Pac. So you're going to give up a lot of points. But, CPS can score some points, Eddie. So
all right. Bouncing back after the loss to Deckerville, the Kingston Cardinals winning over the Dryden Cardinals, 78-38. It was 16-16 actually at the end of the first quarter, But Kingston...
Dryden, they can score some points. They're a good team. They can score points. They have a good offense.
They exploded, though, in the second quarter. The Kingston Cardinals did with 24 points, blanking Dryden and shutting them out in the second quarter. 30 more points for Kingston in the third, but 14 more for Dryden. Just 8 apiece in the fourth quarter. 78-38, your final score. Kingston Cardinals win this one. Passing-wise, Tanner James, the senior, 4 of 6 for 98 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Rushing-wise for the Kingston Cardinals, they have a lot of weapons. They have a 3-point punch. Nick Cummings, the senior, 15 carries, 154 yards. Had a touchdown. 2 touchdowns for Colin Corliss, the senior, as well. 139 yards rushing, 8 carries, 2 touchdowns. Nick Rail, the senior, as well. 9 carries, 74 yards, and 1 touchdown. 2 touchdowns for Tanner James, the quarterback. 5 carries, 62 yards for the Kingston Cardinals. Great win for this team. A great bounce-back win after losing in a close battle against Deckerville Eagles, where Deckerville came out on top. So, yeah, congrats to Kingston. They're going to be okay. They're going to be in the playoffs. And, you know, we've seen what teams do when they're this close.
Mm-hmm.
However, they're in separate divisions.
Right.
Usually, like Kingston, one season, they lost to Brown City early in the season, and then, boom, they come back and win the playoffs.
Right.
So, yeah. I think Kingston's the most experienced, a lot of great players coming back with a lot of experience. Hey, when you're playing against Deckerville, a fully healthy team, yeah, you're going to have a battle there, a defending state champion, with a lot of players coming back from last season. But, yeah, they're going to be okay.
And, you know, if you lose to Deckerville, it was such a good game that despite the loss, you can take good things out of that. You can get better after a loss like that, and that's what Kingston did against Dryden. One thing I want to point out, Peyton Harrington had 3 catches for 48 yards and 3 touchdowns. So 3 touchdowns on 3 catches. On the season, Eddie, he has 20 catches and 13 of them are for touchdowns. So, you know, Kingston has such a balanced offense where they get that running game going and then they can go to the pass and they get big plays off of it. But, yeah, great win for Kingston because Dryden is a great offensive team.
Yeah,
so you got,
score a lot of points, man.
Yeah. So
Dryden this week will have New Haven Merritt.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's at New Haven or not. I'll have to check. Actually, I have the schedule up here, so check. That will be at Dryden, so it'll probably be a night game, so Friday night. Whereas Kingston will have Marion in Week 9 to wrap up the regular season. You get that, and you really get that win, you really seal your playoff spot if you're Kingston. So, all right, we're going to take a break. We got our news coming up. We still got more 8-player football to talk here. We got the Peck game, CPS game to talk about. We also have the Deckerville and K-Peck game.
Real quick, Eddie, the Dryden-New Haven Merritt game. Dryden currently 4-4. If you recall, for a 4-year span, they didn't have a football program. They co-opted with Imlay City. Yeah. If they were to win against New Haven Merritt, which I think they will, it would be the first winning season for Dryden since 2016. So, Big Thumb Conference Blue Division, man. It's tough. And congratulations to the Kingston Cardinals for grabbing a share of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure, you know, it was tough to see Deckerville win on their home field, but to bounce back and just keep grinding, this Kingston team is one of the top teams in Division 8, I think, still.
All right. We'll be back with more high school 8-player football talk, and plus our Thumb Sportsline Picks of the Week with Ben Miller, Mike Gallagher, and myself. And we'll see where the standings are here on Thumb Sportsline on WMIC 95.3 FM, where our show is used as a replay to draw deer. So hunters, replay our show. We're better than a deer call.
Celebrating over 50 years on the air, this is AM 660 WMIC Sandusky and 95.3 FM W237EQ Sandusky.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Welcome back to Thumb Sportsline on WMIC 95.3 FM. Eddie Furyview along with Mike Gallagher, Sanilac County News Sportswriter, sports reporter. How's it going over there, by the way?
It's going good. We just got another update from Scott Bowlesby. North Branch is currently leading the match 2-0.
That's North Branch volleyball, by the way.
Yes, sorry, yeah. And they lead 14-7 in the third set. So,
okay.
North Branch doing North Branch things.
Okay, and we'll do our thing and continue with a high school 8-player football. The Peck Pirates were in action, of course, in Week 8 as we continue our recap of our recap of football action. It was the Peck Pirates in the trophy game against the Carsonville Port St. Tigers, 59-20, the final score. This was for the Travis Shield. This was a trophy game as well.
The Liberty Travis Shield, yes.
So very cool. That did they bring that back, or was it always around, or they brought it back?
They just started. They started it up last year.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of research last year.
Okay.
Apparently, they used to play for a little brown jug back in the 1930s, and one year the jug disappeared. And I actually interviewed Gail Travis after last year's game. And he had mentioned something about, people maybe being upset that they were playing for a jug. But anyway, it disappeared. So, but it's always been a big rivalry, Peck and CPS. They were both founding members of the North Central Thumb League. They've played each other forever, and it's a cool way to honor Gail Travis and Bob Liberty. Bob Liberty, unfortunately, has passed recently, but it was great seeing Gail Travis last year. Great man, great superintendent, great advocate for Carsonville Port Sanilac. So this year, Peck keeps the shield.
Yeah,
59-20. Couple things I want to note: Thomas West and Isaiah Rosser, two seniors, one from Peck, one from CPS. They both had huge games. Peck got out to an 8-0 lead, and the Peck defense forced a Tiger punt, which was returned 72 yards for a score by Thomas West. Peck built up a 29-0 lead before CPS got on the board, thanks to a 62-yard touchdown pass from Gage Moran to Isaiah Rosser. But by the end of the first half, Peck took a 41-8 lead into the break. Thomas West finished the game with 2 catches for 71 yards, both touchdowns. He has already set the school record for receiving yards in a season with his 2 touchdowns on Friday night. He has now tied the school record for touchdown receptions in a season with 10. He is tied with Kyle Abrigo, who, of course, had, 4 touchdown receptions in the state championship game against Rapid River. So he's in good company. If he can get another touchdown against K-Pac, he will hold 2 school records. Currently on the season, he has 49 catches for 906 yards and 10 touchdowns. He is the second leading receiver in Sanilac County because of Shane Slanik, who has 55 catches for 1,045 yards and 9 touchdowns. But Rosser had a great game. Oh, sorry, one other thing on Peck. Grady Welsh returned at quarterback, so that was good to see. He was 6 of 8 passing for 87 yards. Cam Watson ran the ball just 5 times, but finished with 88 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rocco Costa had 117 yards and 2 scores on 7 carries. Freshman Brandon Affer had 64 yards and a score on 6 carries, and Jan Pullman led the Peck defense. He had 10 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Lane Warner added 8 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Now for Rosser, another impressive performance from this kid. Yeah. Eddie, I know you're covering CPS for the first time.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on Isaiah Rosser the whole night. That's all you need to do.
Well, you might want to tell Memphis that too. So.
Well, yeah.
Keep an eye on this kid.
So he rushed for a season high 202 yards on 25 carries. He caught 5 passes for 86 yards.
Whoa.
And he was also 3 of 5 passing for 49 yards. So he did a little bit of everything.
He did quarterback too, huh?
Yeah, he finished with 3 scores, 2 receiving, 1 rushing. Gage Moran was 6 of 11 passing for 88 yards, and he added 72 rushing yards on 13 attempts. So, Eddie, I'm glad you're going to get a chance to see CPS because they're a lot of fun to watch. And I know it hasn't resulted in wins yet, but Gage Moran, another solid game at quarterback, both passing and rushing. And, Isaiah Rosser on the season now, he is the 4th leading rusher in Sanilac County, 936 yards on 123 carries and 9 touchdowns. He has a chance to go over 1,000 yards rushing on the season, which would be huge. Gage Moran, despite missing a few games, is the 4th leading passer in Sanilac County. 36-64 for 612 yards and 7 touchdowns. Great season out of him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'll probably, Clark's doing Millington Harbor Beach, so I'm tempted to listen to that one on Friday night, but I think I'll be listening to your call. Honestly, I mean that it's an intriguing game, and I really hope because CPS has stuck with it all season. They haven't forfeited any games. They've battled the injury bug. They've lost Gage Moran for a couple of games. They had another freshman in at quarterback. They've had freshmen starting all over the place. But they've continued to grind out the season. For Peck, great win, great rivalry win. There's a couple of the K-Pac game. It's going to be tough, obviously, because we know that K-Pac just beat Deckerville. But for Peck, Grady Welsh is 69 of 112 on the 112 passes on the season for 1,116 yards and 15 touchdowns. Cam Watson, he's the 3rd leading rusher in Sanilac County, 954 yards on 164 carries and 12 touchdowns. And then, of course, Thomas West with his school record 906 receiving yards. It'll be tough against K-Pac. However, Peck has the opportunity to have a 1,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard receiver, and a 1,000-yard rusher, which would be incredibly impressive. I don't know that we've seen that in recent memory because we haven't really seen a 1,000-yard receiver in Sanilac County. But yeah, great win for Peck, great rivalry win. And again, if anybody's looking to do the game with Eddie this week, any former CPS Tigers, any administration that is looking for something to do on a Friday night,
happens to be going to Memphis.
Yeah, happens to be going to the game. Reach out to me or to Eddie, and we'll get you in the press box.
All right, Mayville. I want to go back to Mayville real quick and tell you about that stat report. I did find some stats on them because that is our TSA High School 8 Player of the Week. Was it was Tyrus, right?
Yes.
Tyrus Davidson, the senior, 13 carries, 211 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns on the ground. He is the quarterback, but they didn't have to pass too much. In fact, they had 463 total rushing yards against the Memphis Yellow Jackets. Memphis was they have a passer, Ryan Nelson, a junior, 8 of 12. He had 100 yards passing, so that's something for CPS to look out for. So they have a good passer there. He had a touchdown reception. River Short, a sophomore, 7 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown for the Memphis Yellow Jackets. But Shane Miller, the 2nd leading rusher for Mayville, 12 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown in the game. Aaron McComb had a touchdown as well on 2 carries and 36 yards. So, Mayville Wildcats, they have
Akron Fairgrove this week.
Yeah, and that Tyrus is a senior. You have Shea Miller, who's a junior. They're going to have some players returning next season here. So, and I know it's been a tough season. Traditionally in the past, they've always been something you really don't want to look past.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. So we talked about CPS, Peck, our game of the week, Sanilac Broadcasting. Yeah, like you said, Carson Port Sanilac at Memphis Yellow Jackets. I'm looking forward to this to cover our Tigers and Memphis because Memphis has been keeping this high school A-player football, Big Thumb Conference, or back in the day, NCTL, healthy, try to keep it competitive, and gives us games as well. So credit to them for sticking to it.
Yep.
All right. Now, high school A-player football, our wrap-up here. the game of the week on Sanilac Broadcasting. This was, I thought, would be a good game. I thought that K-Pec improved from week 2 and their loss to Kingston. In fact, they got beaten pretty bad by Kingston earlier this season, but you could see the progression as K-Pec was getting better and better each week. And Deckerville did lose one of their top players. They lost their quarterback, Ian Flanagan, kind of like a freak offensive play, I believe. Broke his foot. From what I understand, he is out for the season. And that might have had something to do with this. But, I'm going to just give credit to K-Pec Chiefs. They played well. They played really good football. They caused some turnovers. They scored some good touchdowns. They had a great running game. They got some pretty dynamic offensive players. They got some big guys in this team. We saw a big guy running in this game. You want to watch the replay, you'll see just how big this guy is. But they win 28-20. They ended the game where Decker was driving inside the red zone. Interception was thrown, and K-Pec came down with it and took the game away. But they earned this win 28-20 despite who Deckerville lost. A lot of teams have lost their players. Look at Harbor Beach. They lost one of their top offensive players. But so you know what? Hey, they're okay. They got some other players to step up. But, it's a talented team. But all teams have gone through this the whole season. K-Pec, luckily, they may be able to stay healthy for the later portion of this game. But a huge win for them. Now, despite the loss for Deckerville, Brandon Salowitz still put up 227 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, 4 catches, 35 yards. He was in the wildcat position a couple times, too, getting the direct snaps. Isaac Beaver, first varsity game starting. I thought, I was wondering, did he have the jitters? I think after the first couple plays, he was in it. He was running the ball. He was passing okay, too. 6 of 13 passing, 77 yards. Did have that one interception at the end of the game. He had 7 yards rushing. There was a fumble involved here, too. So, tough position for him to get in there, but I like he's the guy now. And it's great to get this experience against a good K-Pec team here. Now you're ready for week 9 here. You got to be ready against Alcona despite their record. But this was a good game against a tough team to just find out where you're at. And, this is a great learning experience for Isaac Beaver here at quarterback.
Right. So you've already answered a majority of the questions I had about this game. But first I'd like to start with K-Pec because we've been talking about them all season and looking at the stats and, looking at their performances and stuff. But you actually got to see them in person. What was your takeaway from K-Pec? I mean, obviously they have a pretty good size advantage. But, what did you like from K-Pec? What did you see from K-Pec?
Hard nose hitting.
Okay.
They weren't scared of Deckerville, that's for sure. They hit hard. They were tackling him okay as much as you can against a Brendan Salowitz.
It's hard to tackle him,
but they made some good stops against him. They had some good push penetrating that Deckerville line, too. You still have your starting lineup up there,
Oh, yeah.
That's good against a, offensive line there at Deckerville. The speed of their running back. I was impressed.
Sam Schneider.
Little guy, but I think he has those little Barry Sanders legs or something.
Okay.
The speed he had. He was getting the direct snaps, too, in the backfield. They pulled the quarterback at one point in the second half, and they were just milking the clock, and he was picking up 3, 4, 5 chunk yards. Sometimes he would break a big one for a 9, 10-yard gain. And then they were handing it off to an even bigger guy who's like a tight end or maybe the lead blocker in the backfield for K-Pec here. Quarterback did a heck of a job. Tesnell, heck of a job of pacing the game with some good passing here. But I think K-Pec threw everything they had, and they had to against the defending state champion. You throw everything in one basket, and you do all you can against the Deckerville Eagles, and it worked out. They get the hard-in, well-deserved win, 28-20 over the Deckerville Eagles.
So a couple follow-up questions. You mentioned Isaac Beaver at quarterback, and he threw a pass in the Kingston game, and it was a really good ball. It was a very nice pass. It got deflected by Kingston in the end zone, but he can throw the football. And you had mentioned it's his first start. That's a tough position to be in. Your first start on varsity, and you have to go lead a game-winning drive. That's a tough position to put him in. That's a tough position to be in, I should say. So I'm not, if you throw an interception there, I'm not going to hold that against you. First varsity start, that's tough. But you mentioned that he got better as the game went along. You mentioned Salowitz in the Wildcat. How frequently would you say Salowitz was in the Wildcat?
I wouldn't say It wasn't over half.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't over half.
Okay.
I mean, there were times when Beaver was in the shotgun position or under center too as well, and they would do the line, I formation.
Okay.
But there were a couple of times where he would be in the backfield and Salowitz was right next to him in the shotgun. So he did throw some decent passes, but K-Peck was ready. They had some great coverage in this game. They would double team it. They had to against Jesse Kabashki in this game. They had to against this kid. So. Yeah. So
my final question for you, Eddie, and then I'll let you off the hook. But is Deckerville going to be all right
against Alcona?
Just going forward. I mean, the way I look at it, I think it was going to be a tough game regardless because of what K-Pack has done and how much better they've gotten. I'm thinking that Isaac Beaver is only going to get better with more time at quarterback. Yeah. You still have a great defense. You still have a great offensive line. I think, they still have the potential to go on a big playoff run. I mean, what are your thoughts about Deckerville going forward?
They're going to have. There's a lot of good teams right now.
There is
high school player football.
Yes.
I think they're going to have a tough time. They're going to have a tough time.
It's hard because we don't know anything about the other, playoff teams.
I have an inkling about well, let me see. I got to look at the divisions here because Decker was not in Division 1 this year, Division 2 this year. So looking at Division 2 as it is in the playoffs, you have your typical rival Portland St. Patrick in that region. You have another great rival, Morris, is in that region. Morris just one loss. Portland St. Patrick is still undefeated. That's always been a big rivalry between Portland St. Patrick and Deckerville. And I think, have they traded wins and losses in the past? I think Deckerville has the edge on him.
I remember
with wins.
I only remember covering them once. It was the game that we covered together.
Yeah,
and
I remember covering
won.
at least 2 or 3 times.
Right. I think you're. I'm pretty sure you're right. I just hadn't. I don't recall what happened in those games.
Well, that's going way back because for a time there, Decker was also taking on Aubrey Sims back in the day in 8-player football. So, I'm going to look back here in history. Yeah, they did have Portland St. Patrick. First year of 8-player football, and they won that one 36-30 way back in 2012. You don't want to really rely on past seasons in that game, but it tells you just how good of a program Portland St. Patrick, like Deckerville, has consistently since they went to 8-player football as well. I know that Portland St. Patrick would play North Huron. I remember covering them at that point too. So, and then Deckerville in 2023 got a 2-point win over Portland St. Patrick in the regional.
That was a great game. To
go to the state semifinals in 2003 against Adrian Lenawee Christian, which, by the way, Libby, the student intern, said that's the first loss for Deckerville since 2023.
It was. They had a 20-game winning streak.
So for Deckerville to lose against K-Peck, that was their first loss since 2023 against Adrian Lenawee Christian, way back in 2023. So their winning streak ended.
So I'm sorry because I keep having questions for you.
Yes.
But, defensively, Salowitz had another huge game.
Yes.
11 tackles, 7 solos, tackle for loss, a forced fumble. But Isaac Beaver finished with 8 tackles. Did he take over the starting safety position as well for Flanagan, or did they move some parts around? Or?
You know what? I'm going to say I did see Kabashki a lot on the secondary defense a lot. So don't quote me though. So.
Okay. It's a tough loss. It's a tough way to lose. It's tough to see the winning streak come to a close. But I think Deckerville's going to be fine, Eddie. I think they're going to beat Lincoln Alcona. Now, it's a lot of pressure to be playing with a win streak like that. And, not that I don't think they were letting it affect them because that's not really something that they obviously they care about it and they're proud of it, but it's not something that they're openly discussing. And I just think this defense is still really good. And I think Beaver at quarterback, as well as, keeping Salowitz in there in Wildcat, the offense will start to find its rhythm again. But now, Deckerville can also kind of play the role of the underdog. They don't have to be, the top dog right now. They can kind of not necessarily fly under the radar because, everybody knows who Deckerville is, even, statewide, obviously, defending state champions. But now they can play the underdog role, play with that, chip on their shoulder. And, I know I'm sure Coach Bill Brown and Dan Brown, they got right back to the drawing board this weekend. I'm sure of it. And I'm willing to bet that this week of practice is probably going to be their best week of practice all season, and they'll get the win against Lincoln Alcona, and then we'll find out with the playoffs. It's just there's so many, like you said, so many good teams, and we don't know much about the good teams. But I'm not counting Deckerville out of anything.
So I think KPAC also made some big stops inside the red zone on turnover and downs. Each team had a turnover in this game too.
Okay.
The major turnover was the interception for Deckerville, at the end of the game where they were inside that red zone looking to drive and try to get in the end zone. But KPAC, I'm going to give KPAC credit. We talked about Brandon Salowitz. He had 2 touchdowns, 1-yarder and a 2-yarder also. The other touchdown, I think I have it on my probably Twitter. I don't know if Libby.
I have him for 3 touchdowns.
For 3, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I think.
So. If you can look at my Twitter, I think I should have the recap of scoring there too, as well. In fact, I'll go through that right now.
Okay.
I'll tell you how this all came to be. The first touchdown scored in this game, it was actually 0-0 at the end of the first quarter between both these teams. And then 6-0 in the second quarter with 13 seconds to go.
Mm-hmm.
13 seconds to go here. Brandon Salowitz had a 1-yard TD, and the PAT kick was good on that one. Did you hear that? 13 seconds left in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Halftime was just a 6-0 lead. I remember sending this message out to you guys. You guys like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. KPAC comes in the third quarter. In the middle of the third quarter, they tied up 6-6. Sam Schneider, he's been the cat of last for this KPAC Chief team. 40-yard TD run and 2-point run was no good. And the 6:21 mark, not even a couple of minutes later, Brandon Salowitz for Deckerville took the lead for Deckerville, 14-6, a 2-yard TD run. He gets a 2-point run set up by Salowitz's 54-yard run play to the 15-yard line.
Okay, so Salowitz had a
2-yard TD run.
Okay.
Then KPAC Chiefs, not in a couple of minutes later. That third quarter was just a crazy quarter. Brody Tesnow, the quarterback for KPAC, 33-yard TD pass, and number 15, Wiley Roos, who got loose. Pun intended, 2-point run was no good. It was 14-12, a 4-minute mark in the third quarter. You like that one?
It'd be funny if it was unintended.
It's actually in the replay, so listen to it.
Okay.
Deckerville takes the lead in the fourth quarter, 11:51 mark, 20-12. Brandon Salowitz, a 38-yard run, 2-point run was no good. So there's 38-yard run here that's probably missing, possibly. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, because we forgot we had so many carries.
He had so many carries it wasn't on the screen, yeah.
So it was on there, 38-yard.
How dare we doubt Libby the intern?
Yeah, Libby the student intern.
Yeah.
She's really good at the stats. So.
You said that she probably didn't highlight it.
No.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Great, she's going to hear this.
Yep.
Actually, she's probably sleeping. 20-12 is the score, fourth quarter, 11:51 mark, 38-yard TD run. Now, a lot had to happen here for KPAC. KPAC did it. Not even a 3 minutes later, 2020, fourth quarter, 8:22 mark. Number 7, Peyton Frankowiak, who had a lot of big plays here. In fact, he had a run of plays where he was carrying the ball. He's the big guy. 5-yard TD run. Sam Schneider had a 2-point run. Then in the fourth quarter, KPAC Peyton Frankowiak, a 33-yard TD reception via Sam Schneider. Schneider gets a 2-point run. They have an 8-point lead, 28-20, with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left. If you're Deckerville, that's plenty of time. They're driving down the field. They had all their timeouts, too. They were able to stop the clock and conserve time. They were inside that red zone, I believe, and then at the 52-second mark, KPAC's Boston Vach, who had a lot of great plays, too, not only on offense running-wise, but also in defense. He had the interception. KPAC took over, took the knee. Deckerville did have a timeout. They did not take it. They showed their sportsmanship and relented to give KPAC that 28-20 victory. So shout out to them for that, recognizing, hey, what a hard-fought game in there.
Right. Right.
But, this is where Deckerville could, start to dig deep here.
Mm-hmm.
K-Pac, they earned this one. I'm a Deckerville homer. I was happy for K-Pac.
Right.
So.
Right.
And by the way, they consistently send us stat reports consistently. They said ours might be a little bit wrong because sometimes we forget to minus the 30, loss of yards, and you'll see loss of yards here on here a lot. So we're going to refer to the Libby tank yards.
Okay. And
show what Sam Schneider did in this game. He had 221 rushing yards, had that 40-yard touchdown. But look how they spread that ball out.
Yeah.
Look at the offense and touchdowns. Peyton Frankowiak, that was late. He only had 4 carries, but look at those big plays there. Brody Tesnell managed the game well, 96 yards passing. He had 2 touchdown passes. And to the 2 receivers, Wiley Roos and Frankowiak. Well-balanced offense here for the K-Pac Chiefs. Of course, they're going to lean on Sam Schneider throughout the whole season. He's been the offensive power.
Right.
They really threw everything they had there, and you can see it on there.
Yeah.
So,
congratulations to K-Pac. It's a gutty win. That's impressive, especially to do it in Deckerville.
And I make it a point to try to get K-Pac in at least once every year to see them play, because they're big supporters of what you do here. I do believe that the Tri-City Times are the ones responsible for getting their recaps on.
Yep.
But I love to stay on top of it. That's what we do here on Thumb Sportsline. So, All right. So, K-Pac up next. Like you said, they have Pac this week, right?
Yeah.
So, good luck to them. And shout out again to K-Pac Chiefs for that. All right. We are going to wrap it up here soon, folks. We do have, that's your high school player football recap, right?
Yep.
So, there we go.
That's all we got.
All right. Coming up, we got our Thumb Sportsline picks. Thank you to all the coaches and the assistant coaches and the teams for sending us results that we can able to grab, or even when they post them online, we can grab it as well. This week, our Sanilac Broadcasting Games of the Week. It's a doubleheader. Bridgman at Brown City, and we have the Carsonville Port Sanilac Tigers at the Memphis Yellow Jackets. That game will be on 97.7 FM, while we'll have Brown City Bridgman on 92.5 WBGB. Both games will be streaming online at SanilacBroadcasting.com, just like this show right here. And the replays will be posted later on Thumb Sportsline link on our website at SanilacBroadcasting.com. We'll be right back. The Thumb Sportsline Picks of the Week coming up.
Are you sick and tired of the headaches that come with the big mobile carriers? Not in our neck of the woods. At Thumb Cellular, we keep things simple and local. With friendly, local customer care, you'll always talk to a neighbor, not a robot. Our no-hassle plans are easy to understand, and we have phones for every budget. Plus, you'll always enjoy amazing coverage and crystal clear call quality right here in the Thumb. And right now at Thumb Cellular, we're making it even better. Double your trade-in value with the purchase of a new device, or get a free smartphone when you activate a new line or upgrade. But hurry, these great deals will only be around for a limited time. So don't let those big mobile carriers give you a headache. Get the service you deserve right here in your hometown. Visit your local Thumb Cellular office in Bad Axe, Caro, Pigeon, or Sandusky today. Terms and conditions apply. Offers valid through 12/31/25. Thumb Cellular, your local and headache-free talk of the Thumb.
Can't wait to communicate with you on the talk of the Thumb Cellular.
Tackle those tough cutting jobs with steel products from your nearest Tri-County equipment location. Save $50 on the Steel MS 250/18 chainsaw. Buy the Steel MS 172 CE model for only $249. It comes with Steel easy to start and quick stop, diagnostic socket, and many other features. Tri-County equipment cuts the cost of cutting with the MSA 70 CB12 chainsaw, sale tagged at $399. And it comes with a free battery valued at $179.99. You can also save big on steel blowers. The BRX 800X Magnum is reduced $50 to $599. Many other specials too. Hurry, these deals good for a limited time only at your steel dealer. Tri-County Equipment in Sandusky, Marlette, Bad Axe, Carroll, Lapeer, Fenton, Burton, Reese, Birch Run, Saginaw, and Auburn Hills.
Tri-County Equipment.
From Graf Chevrolet of Sandusky, here's Body Shop Associate Tina Kirk.
If you stumble onto an unfortunate fender bender or deer encounter, the Graf Body Shop is the place to get your work done. We work with most makes and models and have access to all parts necessary to get the job done. We work well with all insurance companies to get the claim handled quickly. Let our certified, experienced technicians that care about your vehicle help get your vehicle looking like nothing ever happened. Rental vehicles can be scheduled upon request and availability. To arrange an estimate, call the Graf Body Shop at 810-648-9850, or you can reach me directly at 810-269-6743. Stop by Graf on M46 in Sandusky for all of your automotive needs.
Graf family, we're making friends.
We appreciate Irish music so much that we feel it shouldn't be limited to just St. Patrick's Day. Tune in every Saturday night, 8 p.m. for the Blarney Hour. I'm Drew Duffney. Join me along with Adam Hairhuck as we bring you an hour of music inspired by the Emerald Isle, Irish music, funny stories, and our friend Father John. Every Saturday night at 8 p.m. on 95.3 FM and 660 AM WMIC.
All right, welcome back to Thumb Sportsline on 95.3 FM, streaming online at sanilacbroadcasting.com. A replay of the show will be posted possibly by later tonight for your enjoyment. The show produced in part by Thumb Together Sports Entertainment and also by the Thumb Sportswriters Association, who consists of Jason Parmenter, the Quad and Pro in music, the Carroll Music Store in Carroll. He's also a fine collector. Paul Adams of the Huron County View. Scott Bosby, a Tuscola County advertiser, and also WIDL 92.1 with his coverage of games, and along with Landon Schatz. Christian Selleck, our TSA athletic director de facto. Chris Wilcox with his vast knowledge, because his kid plays against a lot of teams and he knows all these other players. So he's also the announcer at Carroll football games now and fills in.
It's probably been a fun season for him.
Yeah, and he may be filling in come playoff time. Ben Miller of Miller Time Sports, you'll hear from him with our Thumb Sportsline picks. Tom Green of the Huron Daily Tribune. Clark Ramsey, Dave Hansen, and the fine WOEW sports staff there at WOEW Sports. Ashley Rayner Palmer, our Director of Activities and Information of our TSA. Did I forget anybody? Our other publications out there as well, from the Mindy City Herald to the Tri-City Times, to the Port Huron Times Herald, the Sandusky Tribune, who celebrated 22 years last week. M-Live.
Jim Brown
with the information about the Yale football field as well. So thank you to all those writers and support your local paper. And then you, Mike Gallagher of the Sanilac County News.
You are very welcome, Eddie.
All right. Our Week 9 schedule is posted. You can go to our Thumb Sportsline link at sanilacbroadcasting.com. Here is a schedule. Emily City has Merton Bentley on Thursday. Ogama Heights at Croswell Lexington. Detroit Edison at Almont. Fenton at North Branch. Yale at Flint Powers Catholic. Richmond at Macomb Lance Cruz North. Frankenmuth at Armada. That's a good one.
Yeah, I wish we didn't have to pick that one.
Madison Heights Madison at Algonac. Reese is at Sandusky. Cass City at Saginaw Michigan Lutheran. Lanesburg at Carroll. Lakers at Marlette. Harbor Beach at Millington. Big game there. Ubly at Clinton. Saginaw Valley Lutheran at Unionville Seaboyne. Vassar at Perry. 8-player football. Deckerville on the road at Alcona. Bridgman at Brown City. There'll be two games by the JV and varsity will be playing. That is our Sanilac Broadcasting game of the week as well. One of two on 92.5. Marion is at Kingston. Peck at K-Peck. North Huron at Bad Axe. We have New Haven Mary Academy at Dryden. Akron Fairgrove at Mayville Wildcats. Baldwin at Caseville, St. Charles at Bay City All Saints, and Carson will Port Sanilac at Memphis on 97.7 FM. Our pregame start at 6:30 p.m.
So, real quick, Eddie, the St. Charles has they are unable to play the Bay City game.
That has just been posted now again?
A listener reached out.
Okay. So 2 back-to-back canceled games for All Saints. They are now scrambling to find an opponent for Week 9. So any 8-player football team that's looking for a game out there that doesn't have one, get a hold of them, please. So, all right. So that was from a listener, because I know, according to the report I had in the recap on Bay City All Saints. Again, that's changed again. So St. Charles used to be a powerhouse, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, 11-player football at one point.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right.
So I have a question before we start the picks, Eddie.
Okay.
Are we going to continue these through the playoffs, or is this our last week?
Next week will be our last week because we have enough teams to make some picks.
Okay.
We have plenty, at least 10 teams.
Okay.
Overall, because Thumb Sportsline is your Blue Water Area Conference and Big Thumb Conference recap source.
Okay. So, because last week, myself and Ben, we both went 8-2, and we finally beat Eddie. He went 7-3. So me and Ben are both 7 games back. We are 55-24, and Eddie is 62-17. If this was going to be the last week, I was just going to go straight homer in all my picks. Just pick all the teams from Sanilac County and call it good. But if we have 2 weeks left, I guess I still have a fighting shot at this thing.
How far am I ahead?
I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to try my best. You are 7 games ahead.
Ooh.
So all I just need 3 this week and 4 next week. I can definitely catch you in the playoffs.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. The Thumb Sportsline.
I'll still probably pick all the Sanilac County teams.
Okay.
No, maybe not.
The Thumb Sportsline picks of the week for Week 9, the final game of the regular season. Final games of the regular season. And by the way, the MHSAA Sunday Selection Show is Sunday.
It will be, I don't know what time it is, but it will be free on the NFHS network.
And I have that, so I'll be able to watch that myself. So thank you for the on that. And I actually will check and see, because usually they have that posted. Sunday Selection Show at 5 o'clock this Sunday.
Okay.
On the NFHS network. 5 p.m. for that. All right, we got 10 games here. The 10 games I have on here is Ogama Heights at Croswell Lexington. We have Reese at Sandusky. We have Lakers at Marlette. Deckerville at Alcona. Peck at K-Peck. North Huron at Bad Axe. Frankenmuth at Armada. Bridgman at Brown City. Harbor Beach at Millington. And one of the toughest picks here, Carsonville Port Sanilac at Memphis. Those are the 10 games.
That's an easy one, Eddie.
All right. There we go. Ben Miller came in earlier because he's at the North Branch volleyball game.
Yeah, North Branch finished off the sweep, by the way.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. With the first pick, Ben Miller, Ogama Heights at Croswell Lexington Pioneers.
I think Ogama Heights. I think Croswell is struggling on offense a little bit. They don't have a real go-to running back on that team. I think Ogama Heights gets a victory over Croswell.
Boy, I hate to disagree with Ben because he's the go-to for football and general sports knowledge in the Thumb area. But I think Croslex does have a running back in Braylon Davis. I think they're doing pretty well on offense. Now, obviously, Ogama Heights is a very tough matchup. But I've been rolling with the Pioneers. I think they figured things out. The defense looked great against Yale. Give me the Pioneers.
Ogama Heights.
There's one. I got one.
Okay.
I got one.
All right.
Just need 2 more.
Reese Rockets at Sandusky Wolves.
I think Reese.
Yeah? They got enough firepower?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive this year. Tough loss in overtime, right? The Saga MLS. They had that. They could have stayed in that game, but MLS just a little bit better.
Yeah, I think Reese wins big.
This is a tough one.
It is a tough one. I don't want to take anything away from Reese, but I'm imagining this game is going to be close. I don't think Reese will win big.
Sandusky played tough against Carroll, minus Jack Betts.
Yeah. I think the Wolves still have some fight in them. It's a home game. They have the chance to play spoiler. They haven't given up on the season yet. Give me Brady Steeb and the Sandusky Wolves.
I'll go Rockets.
There's two. There's two. I just need one more.
Okay. The Oakton Pigeon Bayport Lakers at Marlette.
I think Lakers big. I think Lakers defense will make a stand on Marlette's running game.
Yeah, and it's going to be the final game in 11-player football for Marlette's for the foreseeable future, unless it changes down the road. But they're going 8-player next year. I'd like to hear your comment on that. What do you think?
And I think it's going to be a good time for Marlette to go to 8-player because of their enrollment.
So you think just because the enrollment's smaller, they have to make this move? And do you think there's going to be another school that maybe makes the move too?
Yeah.
We won't say who, so we don't know for sure. But yeah.
I'm curious about this mystery team that you guys are alluding to.
It's been out there in our talk, that it could be another team. Exactly who? Or maybe it's another team coming in.
Okay.
Like you did mention that All Saints there's a possibility.
I think we should just wildly speculate on the show.
All right.
Let's just throw all the names out there and see what we got.
I'm going Lakers, too.
I'm also going to go Lakers. I love the Red Raiders. I love to see the fight against Skyline. Love Owen Anderson at running back, but this Laker defense is pretty impressive. And, they'll be looking for a big win.
Deckerville Eagles coming off a tough loss to K-Pec last week, but K-Pec I think is just that good. But Deckerville finishes the regular season at Alcona.
I think Alcona lost so many players to graduation a year ago. Deckerville's missing some key pieces off their graduate state championship team a year ago. I still think Deckerville wins big this time around.
Yeah, I got Deckerville too, Eddie. This is not the same Lincoln Alcona team as it was last year. I think Deckerville figures some things out this week. It's not that they have to figure things out, but I think, with Beaver getting another week of practice as the number one guy at quarterback, the offense is going to find its stride again. Give me Deckerville.
I will go with Deckerville also. Bounce back win against a tough loss against K-Pec Chiefs. K-Pec did earn that win, though. So,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. We had the Peck Pirates at the K-Pec Chiefs.
I think K-Pec big. I like K-Pec with Tisno and Snyder there, and they carried that momentum from the Deckerville win they had last week.
Yeah, it was a really great win for them. They got a lot much better from week 2, being shut out to Kingston, and then a big win here over Deckerville. Even though Deckerville's missing pieces, Deckerville still has plenty of power there. So, me or you?
I'll just get it out of the way, Eddie. I'm going to go with K-Pac. I'm sorry to my Pirates, but K-Pac beating Deckerville, Eddie. I mean, that's a massive win, and you don't K-Pac. You don't want to have that letdown the very next week where we beat Deckerville. We got a nice spot in the playoffs, but now we have to finish this season off and get that 7th win, which would be their first 7-win season since 2009. I think the K-Pac team is going to be focused. I don't think K-Pac wins big, but I think K-Pac wins.
I will go with the K-Pac Chiefs also. Highly impressed. They threw it all at the Deckerville Eagles. They're going to have to do that against a Pac team too.
Yes.
So, North Huron Warriors at the Bad Axe Hatchets. A little bit of a tough one there.
I like North Huron. I think in a close game. It'll be a good game there on Friday night at Marshfield and Bad Axe.
It's a little bit of a tough one here.
This is a tough one. And this is something we were discussing in the TSA thread yesterday. This is the first matchup between North Huron and Bad Axe, which is pretty...
Ever?
Yeah, ever.
Ever.
We went back... So, for Kindy did not start playing football until 1949. Okay. So if you go on the Michigan-football website, it goes back to 1950. Yep. So all we had to do was confirm that they did not play each other in 1949, which Clark Ramsey did by going through an old Bad Axe yearbook. So this will be the first matchup between these two teams. I'm encouraged by what Bad Axe did against Brown City. Granted, Brown City was without Cooper. Brown City's still a very good team without Cooper. I'll go with the Hatchets. But I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah? Wow. I'm going to go with Bad Axe.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I was just thinking. I'm just... first ever matchup, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Darn you, Bad Axe. I mean...
What would Claude Marsh do?
Oh, well, he would pick Bad Axe.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay, you follow both these teams yourself, Ben. Frankenmuth is at Armada.
I think Frankenmuth will defend that run a little bit better, and their coaching's a little bit better than Armada's, and then I think they'll slow down Jackson Malberg in this game.
Wow, that's a tough one. Perennial power Frankenmuth has been now for quite some time here. They've been to the finals, semifinals in last 3 years, I believe.
Made it to the finals a couple years back.
Man, this is a streak that's been going on since 2020, where they've been in the semifinal or a finals.
Yeah. It's a great program.
Yeah. Way back in 2020, I remember this game. They beat Almont. That's a BWAC team in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There was another time they played them too, another BWAC team.
They played Armada in the playoffs one year.
So it's been a while, I think. In fact, this is a tough one. They beat Saginaw Swan Valley too, by the way, 21-14 this year.
What's their? You said they have one loss.
Goodrich.
Oh.
Yeah, 14-17.
Okay.
I'll go with Frankenmuth.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Frankenmuth as well, just because Ben did. He is the one that knows the most about Frankenmuth and Armada.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Okay. So, all right. So that we all got the same one there. All right, what's next?
Okay, 8-player football. Brown City hosting Bridgman. Bridgman, a pretty tough team this year.
It's going to be a great game. I think BC wins at home. And
okay, this is a tough one, man.
Give me the Green Devils.
Yeah?
Yep. It's too much at stake. I think
the only loss for Bridgman is against Martin way back in week 1, 20-58.
Martin is very good.
So
Martin, yeah. I'm picking with my heart, obviously. I'm going with the Green Devils. I'd like that Kaline Mahalan had a big game. Jace Halbert had possibly his best game of the season.
Yeah.
And if they get Cooper back, I think...
that's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, a Bad Axe hung in there without him,
Right.
I'll go with Brown City.
Okay.
It's a long drive for Bridgman Bees.
Brown City.
They'll be buzzing in.
No, I believe Bridgman is ineligible for the playoffs, right, due to their enrollment?
Oh, I don't know. Are they?
So, I mean, that's something you have to consider as well.
Okay.
But
all right.
I'm still going Brown City.
Okay.
All right.
What? 2 more?
I'm not sure.
Huge game here, Ben. It's Harbor Beach Pirates at the Millington Cardinals.
I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think Harbor Beach in a defensive battle, close win.
Oh,
man.
This is a tough one.
I don't want to pick this one.
Tough one.
Well, Eddie, I've been saying every week that I'm rolling with Harbor Beach until they lose. I can't just stop, I do think it's going to be a close game. The home field advantage for Millington is going to be huge. Give me Harbor Beach in a close one. I'm sorry, Christian Selich.
I'll go Millington.
There you go.
You need this, don't you? So.
Yeah, I see.
It can go either way.
Yeah,
man.
You can't go wrong in this one.
You can't
go wrong in this one. Yeah.
However, kind of makes you wonder, with Cass City beating them by a field goal, in that game, whereas Harbor Beach handedly handled Cass City very well. I mean, so far, Harbor Beach has beaten Lakers. They've beaten Cass City. Now they're going up their third top, or actually the tri-champions of the Big Thumb White Division. So, yeah, I'm probably going to be wrong, but I want to make this Thumb Sportsline picks interesting. So.
Okay.
So there you go.
They're always interesting.
All right, here we go. You ready for this one?
No.
All right, both teams are winless here. This is one of our game of the weeks. We have the Carsonville-Port St. Lucie Tigers at the Memphis Yellow Jackets.
I think Memphis in a close game, and I think Memphis has some good pieces. Carsonville is an up and coming team. They got a lot of freshmen that are learning the varsity level.
Okay, you think CPS could pull off an upset, though?
It could happen, too.
Slight chance, right?
Yeah, slight chance.
All right, 328 total passing yards for Memphis on the season thus far. They have 865 yards rushing.
Eddie, this is the easiest pick of the week. Give me the Tigers.
I'll go with the CPS Tigers as well.
Yep.
Memphis, don't bite me. But I'm very excited to come see your program and see what you're all about.
Yeah.
You're a young team, too, as well. So I'm really excited to come to Memphis. So looking forward to that game. Yeah. That does it for Sportsline. That is our game of the week. Carsonville-Port St. Lucie Tigers at Memphis on 97.7 FM WTGV. And WBGV on Friday has Bridgman at Brown City, 92.5, 6:30 p.m. pregame on Friday. Thank you, Mike Gallagher.
Thank you
for tuning
Eddie
in
Fury.
to Thumb Sportsline, and thank you to Thumb Sports Writers Association. Thank you for tuning in to Thumb Sportsline. Replay will be posted on Spotify and on our website, StanleyBroadcasting.com, at Thumb Sportsline link. Thank you.